Advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
Happy Tuesday. Good to have you. We are ready to roll, Lloyd.
We're going to get on the road.
I got to tell you, this is a fun week because the Mackinac Policy Conference is fun because you get everybody together.
Yes.
And we have been talking for a long time, and this is kind of the Chamber's theme this year is basically unity.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically how do we work together? How do we find common ground? And I think we need it more than ever now.
Absolutely we do. And I just, look forward to seeing all of the people up there. A lot of the people who are on this show, who come on this show, we hear them on the phone. We don't get to see them. So we'll get to actually see them. And then we're going to be broadcasting live. A lot of those people will be at our broadcast site on our show tomorrow and Thursday.
And then they look at us and they're like,
you have a face for radio.
Can I just call in? I'm just stand over there. Right. Yeah, no, it's a great time. And a lot gets talked about as it pertains to what's going on in the state, where the directions are going. There's been a lot of big things that have happened there. The insurance bill was signed there by Governor Whitmer a number of years ago. So big things go on there, and we're excited to go up there and cover it for you to make sure that you're caught up on everything. Meanwhile, yesterday was a Memorial Day. Did you have a nice, relaxing Memorial Day?
Kinda.
Okay.
Kinda. I was doing a little work yesterday.
Yeah, sure.
But the grill was going.
Yep.
Had nice little dinner, some leftovers waiting for me. I'm good.
There you go. I remember. It's funny because over the last few years, the kids just don't care. I mean, they don't. It's like a day off for them. They have no idea. They're 7 and 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This was the first year where Jake was like, "What's Memorial Day?" And I was like, "Well, Memorial Day is a day where." And again, little kids, right? So you got to kind of be careful how you.
Sure. Yeah.
I try not to sugarcoat stuff, though. So I'm like, well, there are people who served our country in the military who died. And we remember them for their bravery, for their willingness, for them to put it all on the line, and all of their families that supported them that, ultimately led to their passing.
Way to explain it. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like, it's pretty bleak, Dad. And I'm like, well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And so they're like, dude, does and then I start getting the deeper life questions, and I'm like, we're going to put a pin in that for now. We'll circle back around. You asked what today is about. That's what today's about. But you get inquisitive kids, and that's how it goes. Meanwhile, the latest on Iran. So the United States conducted what they're calling, CENTCOM says, was self-defense strikes on some missile launchers, some boats that were laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. All the while, Israel had taken some military action in southern Lebanon. So these ceasefires, these pacts to stop the fighting are just, we've said it over and over again.
They're just
they're very fragile.
On the thin line.
Yeah, very, very fragile. All the while, Donald Trump says that a deal with Iran is, quote, largely negotiated, and that he's either going to sign a great and meaningful pact with Iran or there will be no deal. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that an agreement to open the Strait of Hormuz could be announced as early as Monday.
Okay.
So
we'll see what happens today. One of the sticklers is the enriched uranium.
Yeah.
And the U.S. is like, you don't get rid of that.
And one of the things that we'd heard out of Iranian state-run news sources was that was not even being discussed, which of course is not true.
Of course it's not.
It's being discussed. Whether or not they're serious about it is a whole other ball of wax.
Exactly.
But it's being talked about. Also, there was the scary situation over the weekend where a suspect fired shots outside the White House. They hit a bystander. Secret Service ended up taking out Nasir Best, who had been identified as the gunman. That he had been in a number of incidents with Secret Service before.
He had some mental issues as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was an incident in June 2025, so almost a full year ago. And there was a situation with Secret Service then, and he was sent for a mental evaluation after that incident as well. But some of the videos that were coming out of the the news reporters, the White House correspondents that were outside
ducking
the White House.
Running.
Very, very scary situation. But thank God Secret Service was there.
Michigan homeowners facing more frequent tornadoes, severe thunderstorms, damaging winds may soon get some help protecting their homes. A federal Safe Room Rebate Program is now accepting applications offering eligible residents reimbursement for 75% of the cost to build a FEMA-compliant storm shelter up to about $7,100 after construction is completed. Only 50 homeowners will be selected through a randomized process based on county risk levels, and participants must attend a required safety briefing to qualify. Officials say Michigan has already seen multiple tornado outbreaks and flooding this year, with severe weather becoming a growing year-round concern, and the program is designed to make storm protection more accessible as extreme weather continues to intensify across the state. We have seen a lot of tornadoes recently here in the state.
Yeah, certainly.
And flooding as well.
Yeah, so it's interesting that they might throw you a couple bones to build a room like that.
Hey, every little bit helps. Teen takeover events that have disrupted parts of downtown Detroit, well, they're now being promoted in Pontiac, prompting some concern from local leaders and a Metro Detroit attorney who warned that gatherings could carry serious safety and legal risk. In Detroit, similar large unpermitted teen gatherings have led to street closures, theft, and even a shooting involving a 14-year-old. Pontiac Mayor Mike McGinnis says police moved quickly after seeing social media posts advertising a planned event, deploying deputies at major downtown intersections as a precaution. No arrests were made. Officers focused on engaging with teens who showed up. But attorney Renette Jackson warns that even teens who attend out of curiosity could face loitering charges, court appearances, and long-term consequences that follow them into adulthood. City leaders say that they are also exploring safer, structured activities for young people, while Jackson is hosting a parent and teen seminar this week focused on the risk of participating in these events. So it seems like they want to try to do something like Detroit is doing by getting these structured activities for young people. There was a teen takeover in Chicago over the weekend. A lot of kids got shot.
Yes.
It was pretty violent.
So they're trying to not make it that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to do,
and that's not what Pontiac needs. I mean, Pontiac is trying to do a little something here.
They are. I mean, you got a lot of the Oakland County offices, that are going to be moving into downtown Pontiac. Yeah. The county offices are going to be moving down to Pontiac. So, yeah.
Meanwhile, Stephen Colbert is back on TV on Friday.
I saw that.
Hello. Also welcome. It's time for another edition of Only in Monroe. I'm your guest, host, Stephen Colbert. Longtime viewers of Only in Monroe may remember that back in July of 2015, I filled in for the usual hosts, Michelle Bauman and Kaylani Ray Rafko Wilson. Still not sure how many people that is. Since I was last here in Monroe, Michigan, I spent 11 years as the primary host of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on CBS, which came to an end last night. It's been an excruciating 23 hours without being on TV. So I am grateful to be able to be here on Monroe Community Media before they also get acquired by Paramount.
Did you see any of this?
I saw online. I did. I saw it.
It's very funny. Jack White was in it. Jeff Daniels was in it. Eminem was in it. They were one of the big stories about this, obviously, initially, was that he returned to Monroe.
Yeah.
So he did do a local access TV show in 2015. It was very funny. It's all local stuff with his humor in it, right? It was very funny. And this one was no different. They did a lot of the same similar things and brought some big names out to do this little TV show on cable access in Monroe. But what was striking in the aftermath of it, as it was being posted and circulated on social media, CBS said that there were copyright issues with this. And there was an effort to try to put to stop it. And one of the reasons why they went that route is because CBS produced it. They produced the show.
The Monroe Show?
Yes. So CBS produced it. They're like, well, wait a second. Hold up. You can't air this. Like, I guess then my question is, why did you produce it then?
Exactly.
Right? If you knew that you knew this was going to happen, And now they've backed off of it. So they've got the bigwigs there saying, well, we're going to continue to review it. We're going to make sure. But everybody was like, oh, you're suppressing him now on cable access.
Like you're really going after him.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Very funny. Coming up on the other side, Mike Lee of Crane's Detroit Business joins us. Number of things to talk about. We'll do it next on JR Morning.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg that the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, because now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
My name is Tyler Strom, and my dad and I founded Exclusively Cabinets a decade ago with the dream of bringing affordable cabinetry and high-end design to everyone. We offer cabinetry for any room, and our nationally renowned designers help bring your vision to life with a free design, personalized layout, and premium cabinet selection tailored to your space. Visit one of our 5 Exclusively Cabinets locations today and discover why homeowners across Michigan trust us to help create spaces they love. Exclusively Cabinets, designed for the way you live.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. We're all glad to finally be able to enjoy walks, golf, pickleball, and other activities outside. Don't let severe or chronic back, neck, or knee pain get in the way of you doing the things you love. Call my friend Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Thousands of people have reduced or eliminated their pain thanks to his gentle, relaxing, non-invasive, and best of all, non-surgical intra-disc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments that stimulate the body's natural healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your hands, arms, and legs, osteoarthritis, or meniscus tears, Dr. Kogan can help you. Mention WJR in May to receive a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 for your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC, 586-416-3472.
For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
The Dan Bongino Show.
It's our movement, okay? It's ours. We built it.
Hard truths.
There are a bunch of people out there pulling you into an information vortex, dumping the dead pig in the well, hoping you jump in. Don't jump in the well. It's a trap. Find a way out immediately. This is the nothing is happening trap. And it is an inverted sense of reality. If we don't correct it and your kids believe it, I'm sorry, this show's for nothing.
The Dan Bongino Show.
There's only one choice, man.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Pro-Life Across America.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with an unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossamerica.org.
Couple of crashes on the roads right now. Westbound 96 after Latson. It's taking up the left lane on the Lodge northbound after the Southfield Freeway. Crash off to the right shoulder. Southbound 75 after 9 Mile. Right lane is closed there till Friday. Left lane is closed on 4th Street southbound between Van Horn and Gibraltar until 6 p.m. Friday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by University of Michigan, dedicated to putting research into action, from bringing Braille into the digital world to warming newborns without electricity and working to build a stronger Great Lakes economy. Learn more at umich.edu/look. This message is sponsored by University of Michigan's Michigan Creative. Here's your forecast.
Right through midweek and a little bit beyond, looking pretty good. Not a bunch of rainfall around. Mild at first 85 today, partial sun after some fog early. Tonight, 60. And then tomorrow, a few afternoon showers. That's a front coming in. We'll still get to about 85. Beautiful behind the front. Thursday, sunshine, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up on 760 WJR, it's Memorial Week. We'll talk about the latest with the Iran war. And are those Tigers on the winning track? All that and so much more. 760 WJR.
Well, usually we talk to Mike Lee on a Monday, but we weren't here. So we talked to Mike today. Of course, Mike Lee, the managing editor at Crain's Detroit Business. It is wonderful to talk to him. And of course, our conversation is always brought to you by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Learn more at michiganbusiness.org. Mike, good morning to you. It is Michigan Policy Conference Week.
Yes, the Mackinac Island, the business and government elite will be gathering at the Grand Hotel for the Mackinac Policy Conference. And this year's conference has really a kind of a stark message. The chamber is pretty much themed at Michigan's house is on fire. What are we going to do about it? In terms of education and income and other measurements of how we rank as a state. We're kind of in serious trouble, and polls show that residents don't even know it. Our per capita income has now fallen to 40th in the nation, so we're in the bottom, basically in the bottom 10 now, down from 16th just 25 years ago. The interesting thing about that is if you ask random people where they think Michigan ranks, everyone thinks Michigan ranks right around the middle. When in fact we have fallen dramatically in the rankings. Same goes for third grade reading and some other measurements. So the chamber is trying to focus this conference on on solutions. Some of the sessions are labeled WTF, what's the fix, which I thought was a good way to get a little bit of attention on those things. The conference often gets criticized for just being a talk fest and not producing any actual action, but this year's conference certainly is starting out with a very pointed message. Chamber leaders have said, they've even caught some flack for being, kind of a negative message, but they point out that, Michigan has all kinds of assets, and it's a really lovely place to live, and that makes it worth rescuing. So good luck to the folks on the island.
Mike, I also understand that you got a little small Lake Huron village that's getting a makeover kind of quietly, though.
Yeah, it's an interesting town. The town of Lexington in the Thumb has caught the attention of quite a group of Detroit business people and entrepreneurs. Lexington only has about 1,000 year-round residents. It's very much a weekend town for Metro Detroiters. Right there on Lake Huron, but it's become a second home for some business names, including David DeRita of the Roxbury Group, and Patty Lynch, the man who's bought the Schwitz Sauna, Dutch Girl Donuts, and the Dakota Inn in Detroit, opened a Schwitz North in Lexington a couple of years ago. Local country club is owned by a Warren family. The city also has its own sort of policy conference. A small group of Detroit real estate and policy types stage an invite only day where they talk hardcore policy issues and sort of formulate strategies. Some proposals have come out of that, but Lexington is the Roxbury Group is redeveloped the historic Cadillac House Hotel, now rehabbing Market into a Detroit City Distillery tasting room for Lexington. So there's a lot of Detroit flavor in the town of Lexington now.
Interesting. Meanwhile, the University of Michigan they've been reluctant to have any sort of advertising in stadium. That's something they've pushed back against for a long time, as that has become more prolific in college football. But they have officially named the beverage sponsor for campus.
Yep, they're kind of late to the party, but U of M has chosen its horse in the great Coca-Cola Pepsi Cola debate, and U of M will be a Coke campus. It's the first time U of M's ever made an exclusive beverage deal. Others in the running: Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Red Bull. This covers all three campuses. So Coke will have the only right to sell, serve, and advertise its products in dining halls, hospitals, athletic venues, and vending machines. So if you're a Pepsi fan, you're a little bit out of luck in Ann Arbor, but it's something most Big Ten schools have already done. Most public venues have something like this. Saves the money, gives gives the Coca-Colas of the world better advertising. So they're still negotiating this contract. I suppose that if you really wanted to protest the lack of Pepsi, you could, but very soon it's going to be a Coke world in Ann Arbor.
Mike Lee, always appreciate the time as always. Thank you. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
And, up at the Mackinac Policy Conference, the chamber is calling it, a house on fire type of moment. And some people say, well, you being negative, this is a election year. We're going to pick a new governor, and we need to talk about what's going on in the state.
Okay, but see, I can understand why politicians would be upset about that message.
Okay.
Right? If you're the governor, you're like, wait a second. Hold on. We did a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah.
Right? If you're Democrats, you might not like that.
But
the numbers are the numbers.
The numbers are the numbers. You look at some of these numbers and how we're doing in, third grade.
Third grade reading, math, all of that. I mean,
you know.
the education side of things
Yeah.
is a huge problem. Per capita income has fallen to 40th out of all of the country. It's unacceptable.
It is. This is something we got to deal with.
But see, this is where I hope, because in my utopia of a political landscape, is everybody takes responsibility, whether you mess up or not.
Yeah,
whether you do something good or not.
Yeah.
Take responsibility as a collective. We have failed.
Yes.
Our kids, or the amount of money coming into your bank account is not enough.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And that's okay. Because if you admit that we've been lackadaisical on certain things, like it's up to us to commentate on your actions.
Yes.
Right? That you can leave that to us, and then you can leave that up to the people of Michigan to decide how
they're
going
to
feel.
make the final decision.
Right? But
especially
you're
at
the one who
ballot
has to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So you stand behind it, but if things have slid to where they seem to be sliding, then it's okay to call it out and go, well, wait a second. WTF?
You got it right.
What's the fix here then?
You got to talk about it, because if you don't, how do you fix it? You just think, if you don't talk about it, it'll just go away.
Well, and the chamber, again, the overarching theme, a quest for common ground.
Yes.
And then you can also say, because that's a noble route.
It is.
How do we come together and work together? But then also, things are kind of messy here now.
Yeah.
So how do we fix it?
And we're going to have to work together to fix it.
I got no problem with it.
Yeah.
So for people being critical of that, it's not something I totally understand. Meanwhile, coming up on the other side, Ryan Duffy of Enbridge is going to join us. There's been a number of interesting movements in that case. Also, a huge deal up in the Straits of Mackinac. We'll talk about it coming up on Jam Morning.
Chuck and Ken, the Inside Outside Guys. Years ago, we started the InsideOutsideGuys.com for one simple reason. Homeowners needed a place they could trust.
So we built a source connecting Michigan homeowners with proven professionals.
On the InsideOutsideGuys.com, you'll find trusted contractors.
If your roof is leaking, missing shingles, or showing signs of age, don't wait until it turns into expensive damage. Dial pound 250 to replace your roof with Weather Seal Home Improvements, your local trusted roofing expert. At Weather Seal Home Improvements, you'll work directly with the owner, getting an honest, no-hassle estimate right away. For a limited time, dial pound 250 and mention Weather Seal and get 50% off installation on your roof replacement. 50% off. One quick call could save you thousands. Just dial pound 250. That's pound 250 and mention Weather Seal to get an instant estimate today. Weather Seal Home Improvements, protecting Michigan homes one roof at a time.
Hi, friend. Bill Golling here. And during our Declaration of Deals sales event, all new Rams also come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This May, Chrysler employees with loyalty can lease a 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for only $269 a month. Leases for 27 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down, with only tax, title, and plates being extra. So come see us at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bluefield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, or our newest location on Mac and Detroit, or always at Golling.com.
Big insurance, big pharma, big utilities. As Attorney General, Mike Cox beat them all, saving Michigan seniors and taxpayers billions. As governor, Mike Cox will take the fight to radical big government liberals by eliminating the income tax, doging state government, rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, and getting prices down. He beat them before, he'll do it again. Marine, homicide prosecutor, Attorney General, Mike Cox for governor. Paid for by Mike Cox 2026.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. U.S. military bases in the Middle East are no longer safe. That's straight from the Iran supreme leader. It comes following strikes by American forces.
U.S. Central Command giving an update. Spokesman Timothy Hawkins saying, quote, U.S. forces conducted self-defense strikes in southern Iran today to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces. Targets included missile launch sites and Iranian boats attempting to emplace mines.
Fox's Carly Shimkus reporting this taking place while President Trump is still trying to strike a peace deal with Iran. Voters will head to the polls this morning in Texas to choose a Republican candidate for U.S. Senator. Incumbent John Cornyn hopes voters send him to November, where he could possibly win a fifth term, while Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is endorsed by President Trump. The winner faces Democrat James Tallarico in November. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Few problems on the roadways as you head out. Northbound 75 at Dearborn Street. An accident taking up the 3 left lanes has traffic stop and go from Fort Street. Westbound 96 at Latson. An accident blocking the left lane. Crash off to the right shoulder on the Lodge northbound after the Southfield Freeway. Also heavy traffic on eastbound 94 between 275 and Vining Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put the expertise and skill of NECA contractors to work on your commercial, industrial, or public electrical construction project. NECA members like Danbois Mechanical and Electrical are powering Michigan's future, project after project, on time and on budget. Learn more at smcneca.org. Partly cloudy today, a high of 84. Right now, it's 55. Some clouds overnight with a low of 62. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 82. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
WJR just made it easier for you to nominate the next All Talk All-Star with Kevin Dietz.
And this week's All Talk All-Stars, Krista Funk, the Executive Director of Detroit Regional Dollars for Scholars.
I think it's really just about having that guiding person to walk you through it.
Just send your nominees' information to alltalkallstars@cumulus.com. It's that easy.
Tom Violante, FAR in Birmingham.
Leadership has to be confident. It's got to be fiscally responsible. That leader has to be dynamic and driven.
Then listen to past winners at WJR.com/all-talk-all-stars.
Rick Snyder has long been someone who believes deeply in the idea of giving back. Governor Snyder, it's great to have you with us.
I like to joke with people, what do you do with an old governor? Or I'm on my 5th career now, and I think I may have a 6th in me. So
send your nominee now to alltalkallstars@cumulus.com.
Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
There's been a lot of action in the Line 5 case. And, of course, Enbridge has been a great partner of WJR for a very long time. And it's always good to catch up with our buddy Ryan Duffy, the head of corporate communications and media relations at Enbridge, and joins us this morning. Ryan, good morning. It's good to have you back, my friend.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's policy conference week. So what are some of the focuses now for Enbridge as we shift towards what's going on up north?
Yeah, well, it's a great event every year and great to be able to get out and talk to everyone there. We're proud to be a sponsor of it. Of course, we're really going to be focused on energy and energy security for Michigan. And I think most of us, we don't really tend to think too much about energy security until everything really starts getting more expensive. And, you know, we see the gas prices, we're paying more for the deliveries, more expensive at restaurants and groceries and things. And so I think we're all seeing clearly now more than ever that all industries, businesses, manufacturing, agriculture, it's really all impacted by the availability and the cost of energy. And so we really believe that energy security is about building those systems where you have the oil, the natural gas, the solar and wind working all together to keep things moving along. And we've seen even small disruptions can really ripple into daily life. So you need that energy, but you also need the access and the delivery. And so that's really where we come in, and that's our role. Energy has to move efficiently to get where it needs to go and go through pipelines. And so there has to be that infrastructure too to connect the places where you have the abundant supply over to the areas where you have the heavy demand.
And you know, Ryan, talk about how the tunnel fits into that idea of energy security.
Sure. I mean, we're seeing that demand grow, so we have to have those pipelines transporting, and we have to really maintain those pipelines and upgrade the existing infrastructure where we need to. So that's really what the tunnel is all about. I mean, infrastructure is what makes that energy usable. If you don't have that reliable delivery, you can't get that energy to the people who really need it. So the Great Lakes Tunnel is designed as a long-term infrastructure upgrade. It's going to house that replacement section of Line 5 deep below the lake bed there at the Straits of Mackinac. And moving the pipe into that tunnel, it's really going to significantly reduce any environmental risk, eliminate the chance you're going to have any kind of anchor strike issue or release there. So the tunnel's really making sure we can meet the demand that's out there. We've seen how these different events happening can impact energy availability. Most of those things really are out of our control. So it's important to control the things we can. And it's important to make sure there's not going to be any disruption to that critical energy Line 5 delivers that so many people really count on and need.
I can't tell you how many times I've talked about the information center in St. Ignace to people.
It is amazing.
Because it's hard to really understand it until you see it. But then, boy, when you see all of the effort that is going into ensure the safety of these pipes, to make sure, I mean, the money that would be allocated for just the equipment to carry out this project is absolutely just unbelievable. So where do we sit on this project now?
Yeah, there continues to be a lot going on, a lot of positive things happening. I mean, permitting is moving forward. Our focus really is on quality and having the highest standards as we do this work every step of the way. And of course, safety guides us. I mean, where we are now is that the Army Corps is continuing to do its work and reviews, moving toward a decision there. At the state level, we're renewing 2 permits that we had previously, but now we need to renew those. So those reviews continue. And so hopefully in the next few months here over the summer, we know a lot more and have a lot more certainty on all these permits. As you know, it's been a lengthy, extended process here, but our tunnel team really remains focused on the work because we know the tunnel's the best way forward, and it really does continue to have a lot of support.
And Ryan, talk about a safety milestone that Enbridge reached up in the Straits recently.
Yeah. We in March, our East Mock in St. Ignace, and that's the Enbridge Straits Maritime Operations Center. It recorded its 10,000th ship passing through the Straits that we've been able to keep an eye on there since 2022. So, we've talked about the East Mock. It's staffed up there around the clock by our team. It's really the control center for all the safety systems we have in place at the Straits to prevent an anchor strike. The East Mock watches every ship and it contacts every ship captain that comes through, sends an electronic message, and it's all to make sure everything is safe and looking good there before the ships pass right above our Line 5 pipeline. So we hit 10,000 vessels crossing, and it really was a big moment for us and a big moment for all that we've been doing up there.
Well, and that's something that you guys take very seriously.
Yes.
And we even saw some of the radar that
up-
they're evaluating
Yeah.
when we were up at the information center in St. Ignace. And again, I would urge people to go check that out because when you talk about 10,000, I mean, it's a lot of traffic in that waterway. And that extra level of security is, I think, really important there too.
Yeah, it was great to have you up at the information center last summer. And so, yeah, we'd like everybody to stop by, on the way out to the island when you're going to get the ferry. It's right there on State Street in St. Ignace, 214 State Street. Can't miss it. It's open regular business hours. No charge to get in, of course. So, there's really a lot to see and do there. And it gives a really nice overview of the whole project.
And before we go, Ryan, I got the Mackinac Policy Conference. It brings together leaders from business and government and labor. What message is Enbridge hoping that these decision makers walk away with this year?
Well, I think, you've been talking about coming together. I think energy is really a place where we can all do that. We know how important it is, how much it's needed. And the Great Lakes Tunnel project, it's not really a partisan issue. It's something that will benefit everybody in the state. It's something that will truly enhance safety there at the Straits. So we know the Straits are really a special place. So this really will be a special project. And of course, safety at the forefront. And we've done all we can to minimize impacts during construction. So that's our focus for sure, and we're ready to go to start building it.
Ryan Duffy at Enbridge, always appreciate your time. Thank you. Hopefully we'll see you up there.
All right, anytime. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that place is amazing. That Tunnel Projection Project Information Center. It's amazing.
I mean, you just look at the boring machine model that they have there.
Yes.
I mean, it's the size of the roadway.
Yeah.
But that's what's required for it. And then they're going to go out and get the special equipment needed. I think it's built in Germany.
In Germany, yeah.
So they got to have it shipped over in these
pieces,
big freighters.
in
Pieces. But that's what it requires. And there's been a number of projects like this around the world where they've bored through the earth under something.
Yeah.
And everything is safe and secure. And that's something I'm not quite sure what the issue is. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't get it either.
I think you have a lot of extra safety measures if you put it underground.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But that's just me. I don't know how we get past that.
Yeah, I think it's just politics
at this point. But then because it's in the waterway, you still have all of the measures that they take to make sure that all of these vessels passing through are doing so safely. Coming up on the other side, a hotly contested Senate race. We'll talk about it. It's Jared Morning.
While no one knows what tomorrow may bring, Bridgestone is working toward a more positive outlook, with innovations like developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. It's just one of the many ways Bridgestone is making a difference today for generations to come, because that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. We're all glad to finally be able to enjoy walks, golf, pickleball, and other activities outside. Don't let severe or chronic back, neck, or knee pain get in the way of you doing the things you love. Call my friend Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Thousands of people have reduced or eliminated their pain thanks to his gentle, relaxing, non-invasive, and best of all, non-surgical intra-disc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments that stimulate the body's natural healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your hands, arms, and legs, osteoarthritis, or meniscus tears, Dr. Kogan can help you. Mention WJR in May to receive a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 for your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC, 586-416-3472.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1926 $10 gold Indian coins have been found. These gorgeous 1926 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1926 $10 gold Indian coin from the exclusive Anniversary Gold Collection, struck 150 years after America declared its independence. These 1926 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. Call 1-888-201-7071 to secure your exclusive 1926 Special Anniversary Gold Collection $10 Indian coin. Plus, you'll receive a free bonus over a $125 value and free shipping with every order. Call 1-888-201-7071 now to secure your 1926 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Call 1-888-201-7071. Don't wait. Call now.
We can't see tomorrow, but we can hear it. And it sounds like peace of mind, knowing our lakes will be better protected by placing Line 5 in the Great Lakes Tunnel. And that we've added extra safety measures while we work to build it, because we're committed to keeping the Great Lakes safe for generations to come. Tomorrow is on. Visit enbridge.com/line5 for more information. Enbridge. Life takes energy.
My name is Jerry Neester, owner and president of Ready Parts. I started the company in 2005 as an automotive supplier. When I started our company, I didn't know all the regulatory compliances. I didn't know all the needs and requirements that I was going to have to provide. I could go to Tryon and they could tell me, they would work with me, they would provide all that. It was seamless. It was so easy.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, is the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now. 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green. Don't waste another weekend doing your lawn care yourself. Partner with the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour and get a golf course quality lawn the easy way. Sign up at truegreen.com. Then sit back and relax.
Few problems this Tuesday morning. Northbound 75 at Dearborn Street. An accident taking up the 3 left lanes has traffic stop and go from Fort Street. Westbound 96 at Latson. An accident in the left lane. Crash off to the right shoulder on the Lodge northbound after the Southfield Freeway. And eastbound 94 between 275 and Vining Road. We're seeing slow traffic. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Some fog may slow your roll this morning. Some of it's thick in spots, but a dry morning for the most part. Then partial sunshine later, up to about 85. That's a few above average. You get 12 above normal. Tonight, mainly cloudy, 60. 50s for the suburbs. Partial sun and a few afternoon showers tomorrow. Still mild, 85. And then that front goes through. It's cold front. So we cool it off a little bit Thursday, but beautiful, more seasonable day. Blue sky, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, Kimberly Knott Hill has been active in the Detroit political scene for a very long time.
Decades.
And now she is running for state senate, and she says that she's bringing all this experience, 30 years of connecting to the government and community to Lansing. And Kimberly Hill Knott joins us to talk about it this morning. It's good to have you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on your program this morning. I am excited to talk to you and your listening audience about my campaign. I think this is an exciting time, but a very important time to have the right leadership in Lansing.
Well, why was the time now to try to head to Lansing?
Well, it's interesting. I used to teach political science at the collegiate level, and what you're seeing right now is that there is really a shift in terms of many of the issues that are being addressed. So many of the issues that are addressed in Congress are now being shifted to state government, and so the Voting Rights Act and many of the cuts that have taken place in Congress, the states are now responsible for filling those financial gaps or budget gaps. And so you have to have someone in office who understands both policy and people. And that is why I am running for office, because I believe that I have both that, particularly running in Congress or working in Congress for several years.
And, your resume, Kimberly, is, spans Capitol Hill to Detroit neighborhoods. How have those experiences kind of shaped the kind of leader you want to be for District 3?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Well, one of the things that I have learned from Congressman Conyers is that I believe in bringing government to the people. So being a legislator is so much more than just sitting behind a desk and writing bills. It is also engaging with your constituents and letting them know about the resources that are available, talking to them about different legislation and regulatory issues that may directly impact their lives. And so that's what I plan to do. So when I look at my platform and I look at my campaign priorities, like ensuring dignity, support, and respect for senior citizens, and strengthening education and lowering costs, and strengthening public safety and small businesses. These are all issues that really require actively engaging constituents.
Really interesting. And we're going to continue to watch your race. You are certainly hitting the ground hard, and we'll continue to watch. Kimberly Hill Knott, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. It's true. I mean, there's a lot of movement towards the states. The government is trying to push. I mean, even look at the Department of Education, for example.
Yeah.
Right? They're talking about closing up, shuttering the doors.
Shipping everything here.
Moving some things around to different federal overview, right?
Yeah.
They would, different departments would take different things. But for the most part, a big chunk of what the Department of Education does would be shifted towards the states. And, the money that's spent there. And I mean, do you trust the state to spend the money the right way for education here? I don't know. We spend a lot per pupil here.
We sure do.
And we're not really seeing
look
the
at
results.
our results. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, it is an interesting perspective that things are shifting more towards the states, which puts the onus certainly more on state lawmakers.
Yeah.
Pope Leo has issued the long-awaited Magnificat Humanitas, which translates to magnificent humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a number of things in this that he talked about, and one of them being slavery and the church's role in the slave trade. And they have apologized before about this, but this was the most direct kind of correlation that a pope has made towards this.
Absolutely. And, besides the slavery aspect and what he talked about, he also talked about the rapidly advancing AI systems, including autonomous weapons. He says they may already be operating beyond meaningful human control, and he urges robust legal frameworks for independent oversight and stronger protection for workers and children affected by these AI-driven industries.
Yeah, so these were a few of the warnings that he gave. AI can erode human judgment by offering instant answers that weaken creativity, discernment, and the patience needed to seek truth. AI can simulate care without relationship, making vulnerable users mistakes artificial empathy for genuine human connection, or can destabilize democracy by amplifying disinformation, can make war easier by speeding up lethal decisions and distancing humans from responsibility, which I think to a certain degree, a lot of that can be true.
Absolutely.
A lot of that can be true. And he's calling for, essentially at this point, is more oversight to this technology.
Yeah. And he also criticized the what he says the weakening of global peace systems, and he says he rejects the traditional just war theory, saying modern conflicts are increasingly driven by power and distraction rather than defense.
So this is going to be, I'd been reading a little bit about this, and one of the things that I'd seen from some of the Catholic, the Catholic side of things, not just the news reporter side, was that this is a pretty significant document. It's 43,000 words, first of all, and that this could be one of the more consequential documents, New Age documents that the church has put out in a long time. And the guidelines for artificial intelligence, some of that is stuff that I've been saying for quite some time. What happens when this technology, it becomes so available? I mean, which it already is, but it's only getting more available. People are leaning into it more every day.
Every day. Yeah.
And it is, I mean, what happens when it replaces that human to human connection? Right? I'm somebody who likes to talk on the phone. I like to
talk to a person.
Talk to you.
Instead of the,
Yeah, if I have to call customer service and I
Yeah.
get an automated message, I'm like, live person, give me somebody to talk to.
I do the same.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there is still that, but we're getting further away, and younger generations are going to lean into this more heavily.
yeah.
But there are a number of really good things that AI is going to bring.
Well, it's just like the internet. When the internet came about, everybody was so excited, it was going to help us so much. But, some people use the internet for nefarious things as well.
Well, sure. Yeah, certainly. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you caught up on the latest headlines. Are we headed towards a deal with Iran? We'll talk about that. Also, Northville volunteers are helping clean graves and tombstones of veterans. And we'll talk to them next on JR Morning.
Listen Wednesday night at 7 for a special edition of Powering Michigan's Future, live from the Mackinac Policy Conference with WJR's Lloyd Jackson and the top decision makers on the island. Sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and IBEW Local 58.
Like sand on the shoreline, Michigan's lakes have the power to shape us. Because the ripples we leave behind, all that joy, wonder, and love, will always come back to us. And while we change with the seasons, those feelings never do. They just grow stronger across 2 peninsulas and endless freshwater lakes and rivers. So dive into the waters of pure Michigan and find your season at michigan.org.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus. services.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Service didn't define their story, but it shaped their foundation. Hear inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life on The Veterans Blueprint. Sponsored by VetLife, Sundays at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Warning from Iran's supreme leader. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Mojtaba Khamenei put out a statement that American military bases in the Middle East are no longer safe as negotiations continue.
This is, it's either going to be a good deal or there isn't going to be one.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio telling reporters on his flight to Armenia they have to reopen the Strait of Hormuz for shipping as President Trump keeps demanding Iran give up enriched uranium in a nuclear agreement. Despite the ceasefire, the U.S. did go on the attack again.
Airstrikes against southern Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM says these strikes were defensive in nature and went after mine-laying vessels along with a surface-to-air missile position. These were the first U.S. strikes that have targeted Iran since early May. A spokesperson for Iran's armed forces said any new aggression will be met with a far more severe response.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv as Israel hits Iran-backed Hezbollah militants harder in Lebanon, calling up more troops, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying in a TikTok video,
What this requires of us now is to increase the blows, to increase the intensity. We will smite them with overwhelming force.
Lebanon state media reports 12 people were killed in a village after an Israeli strike targeting Hezbollah infrastructure. Some people have been allowed back home around Garden Grove, California, as the risk of toxic chemical explosion has subsided, though others are still evacuated near a storage tank that had dangerously overheated. There's still a threat of a leak or a fire. The polls will open in most of Texas next hour for a runoff. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton faces off against Senator John Cornyn in a primary race, which has become a closely watched test of whether President Trump's backing will unseat another congressional incumbent. Cornyn and Paxton were the two top vote getters in the March 3rd primary. Cornyn was elected to the Senate in 2002, and Paxton was elected as state attorney general in 2014.
The president endorsed Paxton last week. Whoever wins will face Democrat James Tallarico in November. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster. Buying custom blinds shouldn't be complicated or stressful. That's why we make it simple and affordable. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Ordering takes minutes, installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Northbound 75 at Dearborn Street, an accident taking up the 3 left lanes. Traffic backed up to Fort Street. Westbound 96 after Latson. Accident blocking the left lane. Crash off to the right shoulder on the Lodge. Northbound after the Southfield Freeway, and eastbound 94 slow between 275 and Vining. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today, a high of 84. Right now, it's 56. Some clouds overnight and a low of 62. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, high of 82. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com. Traffic and Weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
Only Femininio Law has the accident response team, crisis counselors, medical experts, forensic specialists who lock down the evidence before it disappears. When you're hurt, you need action. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
The Mackinac on Michigan Show, a monthly podcast where Kelly Cobb and Jarrett Skorup tackle the issues Michigan residents are thinking about. Each show takes a deep dive on the issues that affect every resident and business owner in the state. Hear from special guests in politics, business, and academia. What will you need to know? Find out on the Mackinac on Michigan Show podcast on thegreatvoice.com. The Mackinac on Michigan Show is presented by the Frank Beckman Center for Journalism at thegreatvoice.com. The catcher. Squatting behind home, keeping those wild pitches from getting by. A good roof does the same. It protects a home from wild Michigan weather. An inferior catcher may cost you the game, but but a bad roof may cost you your homeowner's insurance. If you or a loved one receives a letter from your insurance company regarding the age of your roof and your policy, don't wait. Act immediately. American Standard Roofing offers senior discounts or 0% interest for those who qualify. Protect your home team and visit AmericanStandardRoofing.com. Looking for the perfect pit stop during Grand Prix weekend? Join St. Peter and Paul Jesuit Church, Detroit's oldest church building, for the Checkered Flag Mass. Located on the racetrack at Jefferson and St. Antoine, the parish invites you to celebrate Saturday, May 30th at 6 p.m., immediately following the final race of the day. It's a welcoming downtown tradition that's 178 years in the making. For details, visit sssppjesuit.org. The Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix, presented by Lear, is coming to the streets of Detroit May 29th through the 31st. See IMSA, Indy Next, and the IndyCar Race Series all on the downtown Detroit 9-turn, 1.7-mile race, where speeds reach up to 180 miles per hour. From qualifying and free race day Friday to the big IndyCar race Sunday, fun, food, concerts, and racing all weekend for the whole family. Learn more and get tickets at DetroitGP.com.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
I thought you got that root canal fixed.
Apparently not. The construction continues outside of our window here at the Fisher Building.
Oh, boy.
So
it's a little earlier today. They usually start
around 8.
8 o'clock, yeah.
Yep. But it's
since it was the holiday yesterday, they say let's just get started early.
That's right. That's exactly right. They got to get to it. So that's what that sound is in the back, and we push through.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I hope you had a nice Memorial Day holiday.
I did.
It was beautiful weather.
You couldn't beat it.
Absolutely beautiful.
You couldn't beat it. It was the best day out of the weekend, really.
No, it really was.
Yeah.
We had it's funny. We had a water balloon fight with the kids.
Always fun.
They just like it when I throw balloons at them.
They don't like to throw back at you?
Well, because then they get closer.
Oh.
And then they're like, oh, he's definitely going to hit us.
Gotcha.
But then I hit them, and then they cry. It's a no-win situation for me. And we get the balloons that you put them on the end of the hose, and then you fill them up, and they just drop.
Yes.
First of all, whoever came up with that, good on you. I used to have to fill water balloons up.
Oh,
you have to put them over
over the little, spigot
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So whoever did this, great. But they don't pop as well. So when you hit them, I mean.
It kind of hurts a little bit.
It does.
Chris.
I don't know. What are you going to do? You want to play or don't you?
Maybe you just need to do old school, man. Just fill them up like we used to as kids, man.
I don't have the patience for that anymore. I really don't. But I hope you had a nice Memorial Day. Meanwhile, the CENTCOM announced yesterday that the United States launched self-defense strikes on Iran. This was, according to Navy Captain Tim Hawkins, he said that the shots were fired to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces. Those targets included missile launching sites and Iranian boats attempting to set mines in the Strait of Hormuz.
So this does nothing does it do anything to the ceasefire?
They say it does not. They say that they, being Hawkins, says that CENTCOM continues to defend our forces while using restraint during the ongoing ceasefire.
Okay.
So, again, it's fragile enough as it is. Israel's taking shots at southern Lebanon, so that's happening as well. So, but again, the president says that we're close to a deal, that things are progressing nicely. We're either going to have a deal that's going to be beneficial and a partnership with Tehran or not.
Yeah.
And the or not is where I think most people have the fear.
Yeah. Because, I mean, part of the deal is them giving up their enriched uranium, and Iran says that's not going to happen. And I know the U.S. was like, well, it's no deal unless you do that. So,
yeah, correct.
A Washington County apartment complex is under intense scrutiny after reports of dangerous living conditions forcing residents from their homes. U.S. Representative Debbie Dingell urging the Trump administration and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to intervene at Sycamore Meadows in Superior Township, where tenants have reported sewage backups, black mold, rodent, and insect infestations, and repeated maintenance failures. The 262-unit Section 8 complex, managed by Texas-based Tarantino Properties, has been cited for ongoing neglect, with township officials saying it is out of compliance with rental inspection standards. After a recent sewage incident, some residents were forced into temporary hotel housing, while others continue to face issues like broken heating systems, plumbing failures, and unsafe conditions. And Dingle is demanding answers from HUD, calling the situation despicable and pressing for a timeline to fix what she describes as longstanding failures in oversight and management. I mean, you can't,
sewage backups and mold
run people out of their homes that they're paying for.
Right.
Partially anyway.
Yeah, no
Section
doubt.
8.
General Motors says that they're going to donate $50 million over the next 5 years to Michigan science, technology, engineering, arts, and math education programs, STEM programs here in the state of Michigan. Mark Roy's telling the Detroit News the goal is to improve results in Michigan school systems, especially the pipeline to STEAM jobs at General Motors Technical Center in Warren. We want to draw and invest in that education and opportunity. Grants will be available by application, and he said the goal is to keep that pipeline strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting.
A major energy deal in Michigan drawing sharp debate as Consumer Energy seeks approval to sell 13 hydroelectric dams across the state's Lower Peninsula to Maryland-based private equity firm Whole Street Energy LLC and its subsidiary, Confluence Hydro LLC. They want to sell them for $13, like $1 a piece. The century-old dams located on rivers including the Muskegon, Manistee, Osable provide power, but require hundreds of millions in repairs and upgrades. And the deal also includes a 30-year power purchase agreement that critics say could cost above market rates. And supporters argue that the sale preserves the dams and local economies, while opponents warn it could shift environmental risk and long-term liabilities to less accountable private operator.
Interesting.
Sell them off, $13. All 13 $13. Be done.
Out of the game.
Yep.
Yeah. Stephen Colbert was on Monroe County Public Television.
Was that a shock?
Friday. Yeah, it was a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. He showed up, and here's what he said.
Hello. Also welcome. It's time for another edition of Only in Monroe. I'm your guest, host, Stephen Colbert. Longtime viewers of Only in Monroe may remember that back in July of 2015, I filled in for the usual hosts, Michelle Bauman and Kaylani Ray-Rafko Wilson. Still not sure how many people that is. Since I was last here in Monroe, Michigan, I spent 11 years as the primary host of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on CBS, which came to an end last night. It's been an excruciating 23 hours without being on TV. So I am grateful to be able to be here on Monroe Community Media before they also get acquired by Paramount.
Jack White was there. Steve Buscemi was there. Jeff Daniels, Eminem all made appearances. Eminem was on his appearance back in 2015 when he did it.
Tried to bring him back.
It's very cool. I thought it was very funny. Actually, I thought it was funnier than most of the stuff he had been doing on the Late Show. But CBS had backed off copyright claims because at least they were saying that that there was copyright notices being sent out to different YouTube channels that were sharing the episode. And now they're holding back, according to the USA Today story. As is our regular practice, we send copyright notices to unauthorized websites that post copyrighted content from CBS and our network studios, talent such as Stephen Colbert. So they're just...
So he's still under contract with them?
Well, they produced this piece.
And they produced the piece.
The Only in Monroe.
Monroe, okay.
Yeah. Hour. But people were freaking out. They're like, they're censoring them again and all of these things. But again, CBS produced the thing. 7:13, time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rock your world. Here's Jeff Sloan, the founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community on WJR.
Good morning. This morning on the Business Beat, we're taking a look at a hot retail category to see who's winning and who's fading. The category, athletic apparel, a near universal category in which Nike leads by a wide margin. They own a 22% mental market share, the broadest occasion footprint in a new study conducted by Morning Consult. Now, for reference, mental market share means a brand's mental availability, how often it comes to mind compared to competitors. when consumers think of buying in a given category. Following Nike, which has more than double market share over the next competitor, that competitor, Adidas, at 11% and Under Armour at 10%. Nike is recalled across more purchase occasions than any other brand, including triggers like replacing worn-out gear, stylistic triggers like athleisure, and utilitarian triggers like everyday wear. Awareness is highest among 65-plus adults, 93%, and remains strong among 18 to 34-year-olds as well at 76%. Now, there are new challengers emerging in this category. Alo Yoga leads the Yoga Pilates category at 39%, ahead of Lululemon at 32%. When it comes to gym training wear, the leader is Gymshark at 36%, ahead of Under Armour at 35%. And brands not doing as well as expected, Reebok is at 6.5% mental market share, while Champion sits at 5.2%. Well-known brands, but those brands get left behind when consumers are about to make purchase decisions. All in all, the athletic apparel category showing strong retail results for brands and retailers alike. No doubt one which aspiring entrepreneurs should take a close look at if you're thinking of starting or growing a business of your own. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, the source for everything you need to start and grow your own business. And that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
Don't leave safety to chance. Shelving.com has protective gear, safety mirrors, and Unirack pallet racking paired with netting and pallet stops to keep your facility protected. Plus certified safety assessments to keep you OSHA compliant.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
Metro Cars is currently seeking professional independent contractor elite luxury sedan drivers. This opportunity is ideal for individuals who value professionalism, flexibility, and delivering a high level of service. Applicants must be 23 or older with a clean driving record, a clean criminal background, no exceptions, and a commitment to exceptional customer care. For more than 35 years, Metro Cars has been a trusted transportation provider for executives, business travelers, and organizations across Michigan. Qualified candidates are encouraged to visit the Metro Cars corporate office at 24957 Brest Road in Taylor for open interviews. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., no appointment necessary. Additional information is available by calling 734-235-0750. Drive with a company known for professionalism, reliability, and experience. Metro Cars.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1926 $10 gold Indian coins have been found. These gorgeous 1926 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1926 $10 gold Indian coin from the exclusive Anniversary Gold Collection, struck 150 years after America declared its independence. These 1926 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. Call 1-888-201-7071 to secure your exclusive 1926 Special Anniversary Gold Collection $10 Indian coin. Plus, you'll receive a free bonus over a $125 value and free shipping with every order. Call 1-888-201-7071 now to secure your 1926 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Call 1-888-201-7071. Don't wait. Call now.
Big insurance, big pharma, big utilities. As Attorney General, Mike Cox beat them all, saving Michigan seniors and taxpayers billions. As governor, Mike Cox will take the fight to radical big government liberals by eliminating the income tax, doging state government, rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, and getting prices down. He beat them before. He'll do it again. Marine, homicide prosecutor, Attorney General, Mike Cox for governor. Paid for by Mike Cox 2026.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster. Buying custom blinds shouldn't be complicated or stressful. That's why we make it simple and affordable. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Ordering takes minutes, installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Couple of crashes on the roads this morning. Northbound 75 at Dearborn Street, an accident in the right lane. Traffic slow from Southfield Road. Westbound 96 after Latson, a crash in the left lane there as well. Heavy traffic on eastbound 94 between 275 and Vining. Same with westbound 94 between Cadgett and Chalmers. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Unseasonably mild air continuing to push in now with a south breeze. Even a little patchy fog this morning. Partial sunshine today. 85, average high 73. Tonight near 60, that's not bad. 50s out in the suburbs. Tomorrow afternoon, some change rolls into town, maybe a few showers, 85. But sunshine returning behind that front. Thursday's high 75. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming in June, the biggest birthday party in history.
America 250. Michigan made from 760 WJR.
So yesterday was Memorial Day, and of course we paid tribute to those that paid the ultimate sacrifice in service of our country, and others were taking service to a different meaning. And in this case, the VFW Post 4012 in Northville Cemetery Renewal Task Force focused on the Rural Hill Cemetery in the northeast corner of 7 Mile and Sheldon Roads in Northville ahead of Memorial Day. And what were they doing? They were kneeling down in front of these gravestones, cleaning them, making sure that they were looking nice.
Yeah, and it's a great thing, and it's something that I don't think we think about until around this time, but these things need to be done.
David Merrill is the chair of the Cemetery Renewal Task Force and joins us this morning to talk about all of their efforts that went into the culmination yesterday on Memorial Day. Dave, it's good to have you.
Thank you. Is it Chris, since I don't see you, or is it Lloyd?
Chris, This is Chris.
And I'm Lloyd.
And that's Lloyd. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's good to have you this morning. So where did this start? When did you guys get together, create the task force, and start attending to these grave sites?
Well, Northville's celebrating its 200th anniversary in 2027. And our mayor, Brian Turnbull, decided to form 2 task forces. His family's had like 5 generations here in Northville, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And one was the task force for the bicentennial, and one was to restore our tombstones in 2 cemeteries. The oldest is Oakwood, which is right downtown, and the one that you were talking about, Rural Hill, is a little way out of town. They're both historic cemeteries. The one goes back to 1835, and the other is in the 1880s. And the oldest one really needed a lot of repair. Cemeteries went out of business in the Great Depression. They went bankrupt. So a lot of work. That's when it got started. Back in August of 25 was our first team meeting.
David, you said that these are our ancestors that went before us. When you're kneeling in front of a gravestone, cleaning the name of someone you never met, what goes through your mind?
Well, just for me, when I grew up in Iowa, across the street from us was an abandoned cemetery, and we young boys would play in the cemetery, and so I'm used to that. And then our family has a long history. Memorial Day was a family reunion. So to answer your question, it's just something that you do. I don't always. Sometimes you're cleaning the back of the stone. Yes, veterans have more meaning, and you think a little bit about, well, I guess what's really sort of shocking is the really old cemeteries. Some of my younger people say, oh, look at this person had 3 wives. Well, back before penicillin, back in the 1800s, women died in childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the two most interesting photos that we have. One is called a baby crib. So it's made out of stone, and that is where you put your dead babies. And when we started this at Oakwood, the crib was all broken in pieces on the ground. It's fairly big. It's probably about 8 foot by 4 foot. Mm-hmm. And then a donor, Northville Lumber, gave us money to hire a restoration professional. They put it back together. So this black crib is now white, and that's one of the things that's most recognized. And there's 2 babies in that crib.
Wow.
Yeah, and you work with the preservationists to make sure that these are tended to properly and taken care of, and it's just that extra step, I think.
Yes. Yeah, it's Carter Cemetery Preservation, and we try and follow national park policies on cleaning the stones. We have had a couple of complaints, actually. People say, well, mostly it's all gratitude, but and actually a friend of mine said, I don't want you to clean my family's stones. And the reason for that is maybe the stones are only 30 years old or 40 years old, and they still look good, and maybe they like the patina on them. So, we're very careful. We don't want to damage anything. That's why we use the very soft brushes. There's
Dave, one thing that stands out about this effort is that you called it non-political. And in today's divided climate, as you know, what does it mean to have people come together simply out of respect and service?
Oh, Lloyd, I think that's really something, because there's, as you know, so much division, and we're there for one purpose. And there's people, there's been people. Well, one of our task force members is, I think he's 16. He's going for his Eagle Scout, and then there's people into their 80s. But we don't talk. I've never heard anyone talk politics. It's just you get the joy, whether it's from removing the invasive species that our grounds gang do, or cleaning the stones. And you come away, you come away happy. None of this other stuff bothering you.
Yeah. Well, it's really special what you guys do, and paying tribute in the way that we can for those that we lost, culminating in Memorial Day. David Merrill, thank you so much for your time this morning, what you do, and we'll talk again soon, I hope.
Hey, thank you. By the way, one of our volunteers is the wife of one of your former stalwarts there, Tom Campbell's wife, Sue Campbell.
Oh, Sue. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, very good. Very good. David, thank you. We appreciate everything you do.
Okay, thank you very much. Nice to talk to you both.
Yeah,
All right, you too.
You got it.
Yeah, man, that's great what they do.
It's great. And every Memorial Day, I always take a moment to try to watch the videos as well, out of the Normandy American Cemetery in France.
Yeah.
So the French gave the United States that plot of land, so it's American land there, and that's where those white crosses are for people that lost their lives in Normandy. And I always I get very emotional watching them take the sand from the beach and spreading it across the names of those soldiers.
Yes.
To give it that the names really stick out then. And again, it's just a very special moment. And they clean it up, and it gives kind of their names that golden hue, which is spectacular that they still do that.
Well, thank God, and for the soldiers that gave up, the ultimate sacrifice to allow us to do what we do here every day.
Yeah,
Chris,
certainly.
To talk on the radio.
Meanwhile, a stamp is coming back, and this is a fan favorite.
This is a fan favorite. It is Mr. Rogers. The Mr. Rogers stamp is a fan favorite, and it's coming back this summer. The winner of the Stamp Encore contest is the 2018 Mr. Rogers stamp, honoring the beloved host of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which aired for more than 30 years. USPS says more than 500,000 votes were cast in this nationwide contest, with Mr. Rogers winning by a wide margin over dozens of other popular designs. Originally, 12 million of the stamps were printed in 2018. They sold out in weeks.
That's cool. Well, I mean, look,
Mr. Rogers was cool, man.
I mean, he was cool. I mean, it was just great. And the fact that legend still lives on.
Yeah.
Right? It's really cool.
It does.
And it's probably sentimental for some folks, right? So that you bring that back, it makes people feel good.
And the reprinted, the stamps are going to be available starting June 1. So right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Yep.
Coming up on the other side, Rocky Roskovsky is going to join us, the retired lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army, about the latest out of Iran. Are we headed towards a ceasefire as military action resumed, at least briefly? It's next.
Chuck and Ken, the Inside Outside Guys. Years ago, we started the InsideOutsideGuys.com for one simple reason. Homeowners needed a place they could trust.
So we built a source connecting Michigan homeowners with proven professionals.
On the InsideOutsideGuys.com, you'll find trusted contractors.
If your roof is leaking, missing shingles, or showing signs of age, don't wait until it turns into expensive damage. Dial pound 250 to replace your roof with Weather Seal Home Improvements, your local trusted roofing expert. At Weather Seal Home Improvements, you'll work directly with the owner, getting an honest, no-hassle estimate right away. For a limited time, dial pound 250 and mention Weather Seal and get 50% off installation on your roof replacement. 50% off. One quick call could save you thousands. Just dial pound 250. That's pound 250 and mention Weather Seal to get an instant estimate today. Weather Seal Home Improvements, protecting Michigan homes one roof at a time.
Summer is just around the corner, and it's time to make sure your air conditioner is ready to keep your home cool. Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, reminding you to schedule your summer service today. Our expert technicians will clean and check your air conditioning and make sure everything is running properly so you can head into the warm weather worry-free. Don't wait for the heat to hit. For a worry-free home, visit familyheating.com to find the location near you and call to schedule your summer service today.
When people power education, we all move forward. The Skillman Foundation brings people together as a force for change, connecting students, families, and educators with policy movers to ensure real-life insights shape the future of our schools. Listen to the Skillman Foundation's show, Our State of Education, to hear what's happening in Michigan schools and what you can do to support today's children and tomorrow's leaders. Our State of Education on 760 WJR or on your favorite podcast platform.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Iran's supreme leader says U.S. military bases in the Middle East are no longer safe after CENTCOM said American forces carried out what it calls self-defense strikes on mine-laying boats in the Strait of Hormuz.
These were the first U.S. strikes that have targeted Iran since early May. A spokesperson for Iran's armed forces said any new aggression will be met with a far more severe response. The strikes come amid the backdrop of ongoing diplomatic efforts to reach an agreement between Iran and the United States.
Fox's Trey Yanks in Tel Aviv today. Texas Senate runoff pits four-term Senator John Cornyn against State Attorney General Ken Paxton.
Attorney General Paxton was the second-place finisher in the March vote, and last week he received President Donald Trump's endorsement, who had criticized Cornyn for dismissing Trump's 2024 comeback chances.
It's Fox's Alex Hogan. The winner faces Democratic nominee James Tallarico. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. Get ready to rock as Killer Queen, a tribute to Queen, brings the legendary band's iconic sound and energy to MGM Grand Detroit. Thursday, July 9th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. 18 or older.
Westbound 96 after Latson Road. Still have a crash taking up the left lane this morning. Northbound 75 at Dearborn Street. That accident's clear. Traffic still slow from Outer Drive. Delays on eastbound 94 between 275 and Vining. Same with westbound 94 between Cadieux and Mount Elliott. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today, a high of 84. Right now it's 57. Some clouds overnight, a low of 62. Mostly cloudy tomorrow and a high of 82. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance.
Coming up Wednesday on JR Morning, we're taking the show on the road. We'll be up on Mackinac Island for the Detroit Regional Chamber's 2026 Mackinac Policy Conference. And the focus, a quest for common ground. We'll talk to lawmakers and business leaders about how to bring that goal to fruition. Join us 6 to 9 on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app.
(800-896-8155). 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now WJR Health Watch. Here's Lloyd Jackson.
It's a medical term that can sound incredibly scary to hear, but it's actually one of the most common unseen health conditions women face today. We're talking about uterine fibroids, growths that many women have, but have absolutely no idea are there. Dr. Yulia Malayev is an OBGYN with Huron Valley Sinai Hospital and the DMC Medical Group in Commerce Township. She explains what uterine fibroids are and how common they are during a woman's childbearing years.
Uterine fibroids can be very common in a woman's childbearing years. They're basically smooth muscle tumors that can be anywhere in the female pelvis, within the cervix, the uterus, the ligaments supporting those structures.
Okay. Thursday morning from 6 to 9 on the JR. Let me see. No, 6 to 9. Okay. Thursday morning from 6 to 9 on JR Morning, we broadcast live from the Mackinac Policy Conference. We're confronting the House on Fire numbers, tracking our state's economic slide, and asking political and business leaders, what's the plan to fix it? Don't miss a special JR Morning from Mackinac Island, Thursday, 6 to 9 a.m. on WJR, WJR.com, and the free WJR app.
Months pregnant, but really she's not.
For more information, call 248-360-9090. I'm Lloyd Jackson for WJR Health Watch.
Whether you're starting an office, industrial, public sector, or healthcare real estate project, you're going to have questions.
How should we approach construction?
Are we getting the best real estate advice?
Lots of questions. At Plant Moran Real Point, our multidisciplinary team of real estate experts have decades of experience successfully guiding Michigan's largest real estate projects from concept to completion. Here's our point. To find the commercial real estate answers and guidance you need to succeed, let Plant Moran Real Point point the way. Learn more at pmrealpoint.com.
Trade in your ordinary plans for the Pawn Shop Guitar Tour. August 28th, Tim McGraw brings his legendary energy to Pine Knob Music Theater, and we've got your VIP upgrade with premium tickets so close you'll see the shine on Tim's belt buckle. Ride in style with round-trip luxury transportation provided by Metro Cars, plus $100 to Buddy's Pizza. To enter, download the free WJR mobile app, find the secret keyword, and text it to 800-859-0957. WJR's Tim McGraw VIP experience. Details at WJR.com.
Paul W. Smith can be found on Focus from noon to 2 p.m. on 760 WJR. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
Israel taking some military action in southern Lebanon, the United States targeting missile launch sites, Iranian boats attempting to set mines, according to U.S. CENTCOM, and they say that they were in self-defense to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces. And you've got Navy Captain Tim Hawkins with CENTCOM saying that the United States continues to defend our forces while using restraint during the ongoing ceasefire and certainly the ceasefire negotiations that are ongoing. Rocky Richkowski, the retired lieutenant colonel with the U.S. Army, joins us to talk about it all. Rock, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Lloyd.
Good morning.
Before we get into the negotiation side of this story, let's talk about what we saw this weekend on the military side. Does this ceasefire still hold as a result of the actions that were taken?
You know, Chris, I would say it's still a fragile ceasefire. We're still closer to a negotiated pause than a permanent peace, and it's highly unstable, I would say. And the agreements between the United States and Iran are still technically holding, but the tensions remain extremely high especially after this U.S. self-defense strikes in southern Iran, which attacked one of the major Iranian naval and military bases in that southwestern portion of Iran called Bandar Abbas. We now see that Iran has responded to their supreme leader, and the supreme leader said that no U.S. base in the Middle East or U.S. operations will be safe. So again, your question asks, are we holding the ceasefire? We're technically holding it, but the tensions are extremely high, and the words, even though there are negotiations that are taking place between the two nations in Qatar, it's very unstable.
Rocky, Iran still reportedly maintains about 70% of its missile launchers in stockpile. Does that surprise you, given the repeated claims that Iran's military capabilities have been severely degraded?
No, and you mentioned missile launchers. They maintain about 70% of their missiles and their drones, but their launchers. And to launch a lot of these missiles, to give the missiles their proper guidance or their trajectory, you need a launcher system or a launching system. And the launch systems are predominantly taken out. Again, a lot of their based launching systems have been destroyed. Now we're talking about mobile devices, Lloyd. So these are more like what you've seen in the old Russian parades where they've got missiles on these vehicles. So the mobile ones are a lot harder to strike, and obviously they're mobile, thus the name for them. But there's a lot less of them than there were before, and the based launching systems and the based launching sites have been destroyed.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that they are continuing to pursue this diplomatic solution, which we know is true. Talks are ongoing in Qatar as we speak. But he also said that Donald Trump is committed to either making a good deal or no deal, and the straits have to be open. They're going to be open one way or the other. What do you read into that?
I think that's, one of the things that we heard over the weekend, this Memorial Day weekend, was a lot of criticism on this administration saying, hey, they're moving towards this agreement that is very similar to what the Obama administration had. And technically, no, it's not, because there is no agreement, number one, yet. And number two is the president did draw some specific lines in the sand. And these are lines in the sand that even regional countries, including Qatar, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt, Jordan, and the UAE, were heavily involved in these mediation efforts. And they even concurred with Washington that Tehran needs to support some of these. And yes, the Secretary of State Rubio did say that there is progress, but he also acknowledged major issues still remain unresolved. And the biggest one, Chris, I'm gonna shift a little bit here and say the biggest one is still the unenriched uranium stockpile. And we can talk all we want, and we can talk about gas prices. And the reason we have higher gas prices in the U.S., even though we really don't rely on the oil coming out of the Straits of Hormuz or out of those nations, is because now the international market needs oil. So where are they buying it from? They're buying from the U.S., therefore creating more tension on our markets in the West, in the Western Hemisphere. So we're seeing this, and it is affecting us. And it's a major issue to the president when he looks at this regarding the midterms and the feelings of the United States with the inflation rates. But the issue still comes down, and the president has drawn a line in the sand. And this is one thing that Donald Trump will not do. And if you've looked at his background, if he does draw a line in the sand, he will not cross it, unlike other administrations, Republican or Democrat. And now the Iranian officials are drafting this 14-point memorandum of understanding, and the president has basically said, no, if we're not discussing enriched uranium or coming back to discuss the enriched uranium without opening up the Straits of Hormuz, those two topics are becoming synonymously tied together over the next 60 days.
And Rocky, Israel now signaling it plans on intensifying attacks against Hezbollah in Lebanon. How much does that kind of complicate any possible U.S.-Iran agreement?
Well, it does, because Iran has said multiple times that if you remember back about, a month and a half ago, the original ceasefire that took place that was allegedly broken, they said that Israel's attacks on Hezbollah broke the ceasefire. But again, if Hezbollah is doing attacks on Israel, Israel has a right, a sovereign right to self-defense. And just like Iran has a right to self-defense, but it doesn't have a right to build a nuclear weapon, nor strike or threaten nations in the area. So, but again, Iran has tied Israel's actions to this ceasefire. Right or wrong, it has. And the United States has played some role in discussing with Israel and using Israel's how shall I say, allowing them to hold back a lot of their attacks on Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon
We just
as an issue.
We just have 30 seconds left here. Lindsey
Yeah.
Graham, Ted Cruz has come out and said that this actually, if this plan goes into place as they're talking about it, it could make Iran more powerful over the time. Oh, do you agree with that?
You know what? I'm not a war hawk, but I am a hawk regarding decreasing Iran's power. I do believe that if it's how it was displayed in the news media, but I don't believe that's what President Trump will actually sign. And the issue here is the president will work on the enriched uranium as well as opening up the Straits of Hormuz and decreasing the Iranian military strength.
Rocky Richkovsky, thanks for your time as always. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, gentlemen. Let's pray for peace. God bless you.
No doubt about
See you
it.
around.
The Grand Prix coming up this weekend. Meryl Kane joins us on the other side. It's JR Morning.
I keep seeing celebrities posts, me in the 90s versus now. Well, the person staring at me in the mirror is definitely not the same person that could pull off bootcut jeans. Time creeps up on us so slowly. You don't see it until suddenly you do. Same thing goes for your bills. $1 here, an uptick there. It's a slow burn until one day you realize the price you're paying now is way higher than when you signed up. But at T-Mobile, customers had the lowest wireless bills versus Verizon and AT&T over the past 5 years. And with T-Mobile on their experience plans, you get a 5-year price guarantee, so you know exactly what your plan price will be for the next 5 years. So at least that's one thing that won't change over time. I can't guarantee you'll still look good with frosted tips, but T-Mobile can give you a clear guarantee on your wireless plan.
Lower bills based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 21 to Q4 25 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Clark Construction Company, thoughtfully planning and building educational facilities to foster innovation where students and faculty thrive. Visit clarkcc.com. When people power education, we all move forward. The Skillman Foundation brings people together as a force for change, connecting students, families, and educators with policy movers to ensure real-life insights shape the future of our schools. Listen to the Skillman Foundation's show, Our State of Education, to hear what's happening in Michigan schools and what you can do to support today's children and tomorrow's leaders. Our State of Education on 760 WJR or on your favorite podcast platform.
Hey there, WJR listeners. Chris Alberta here at Principium. Listen, your bucket of money, that precious little gem that's taken you a lifetime to accumulate, it's been growing. And if you're anything like all of my clients, you were worried that it might not be enough to supplement your retirement, especially if the markets have a downturn. All these incredible investment and insurance tools these days, they've been designed to address specific problems and concerns. But most folks I see every week, they have the wrong stuff. You know why? Because no one's taking the time to actually invest in them and diagnose the actual problem, the actual concern. Yeah, look, my process, it's laborious, but it's worth it. The results and the peace of mind are a byproduct of us learning together. If you're retired or nearing retirement, it's time for you to dig in with me. We can increase the reward and we can decrease the risk. It's a win-win. So stop going to steak dinners, free steak dinners offered by financial salespeople. Invest in yourself with me at my office on your timetable with zero pressure. Call me today, Chris Alberta at Principium, 1-888-800-8949.
Steve Courtney here, inviting you to support Sparky Anderson's Catch Charity for Children. Our 39th annual Catch Golf Classic, presented by the Greater Detroit Toyota dealers, takes place at the beautiful Red Run Golf Club on Monday, July 20th. Only a limited number of sponsorships are still available for golf, but our online auction featuring trips, golf packages, and sports memorabilia is available to anyone wishing to participate or to make a donation. For information on the Catch Golf Classic or how to participate in our online auction, please visit catchcharity.org.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster. Buying custom blinds shouldn't be complicated or stressful. That's why we make it simple and affordable. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Ordering takes minutes, installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Westbound 96 after Latson Road, a crash is taking up the left lane. Have an accident on the right shoulder of eastbound 94 at Michigan Avenue. So travel on eastbound 94 between 275 and E-Course. Same story on westbound 94 between Cadieux and Mount Elliott. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
All right, through midweek and a little bit beyond, looking pretty good. Not a bunch of rainfall around. Mild at first, 85 today. Partial sun after some fog early. Tonight, 60. And then tomorrow, a few afternoon showers. That's a front coming in. We'll still get to about 85. Beautiful behind the front. Thursday, sunshine, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, IndyCar racing returns to the streets of Detroit once again this weekend. Sunday is the big day, 12:30. The IndyCar Grand Prix, the Detroit Grand Prix, once again returns, and it's going to be a fantastic weekend of racing downtown. Merrill Kane, the Detroit with the Detroit Grand Prix, joins us to talk about it. Merrill, good morning. It's great to talk with you.
Good morning. Great to talk with you. It's a beautiful day. Great start to our race week here for the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear.
No doubt about it. And I'll tell you, what a lead in to have the Indianapolis 500 just ahead of us. And it was an incredible finish. Team Penske just got eked out. This was the closest finish in 500 history, wasn't?
Yeah, it was. And you got to think about, 110 years of the Indianapolis 500. That's a lot of races and a lot of dramatic finishes over the years. But yeah, to see that on Sunday and to, kind of reward the fans that stuck through a couple short rain delays, and it's a long 500 miles, but man, the guys put on a great show, and you really got to give it to Felix Rosenquist, who did a magnificent job all month, and really turned it on when he needed to, made the pass that he needed to make that gives him a piece of history, right? And you feel really bad for David Malukas from Team Penske, who also had a great day, great month. Looked like victory was in his sights, except for those last 50 yards. And but David, he's a really, really talented driver, great personality, and he's going to get another chance. He'll get another opportunity. But that was a great finish, and we love having all that momentum coming right here into the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear this weekend. The entire racing world and kind of everyone who tuned into Indy hopefully gets a chance to see what we can do here in Detroit and put on a great spectacle of ourselves. So it's gonna be great.
And it's a different vibe of a race, right? Because you're in the city streets. It's not the oval. And to me, I am more drawn to the type of race that we have here because it to me tests the drivers in a completely different way.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm glad you feel that way. But it's something that we're very proud of. But I think that's a credit to IndyCar and the other series that race with us too. You got to be a really talented, diverse driver to succeed in these racing series. So they go from 240 miles an hour in a circle on a very high speed oval to going 180 down Jefferson Avenue, making right and left turns, and facing the bumps and the potholes that we drive every day, right? And still being able to try to compete for a win, with cars on either side of you and walls on either side of you too. It's a very high risk, high reward race, and there's a lot of pressure that's associated with it. But when you're watching it's great as a fan to be able to see that and to enjoy that. So we're looking forward to bringing that to the Motor City this weekend.
Well, and obviously it all culminates on Sunday at 12:30. But there are so many different races. Friday, Saturday, you're talking qualifying, you're talking about different practice sessions for these guys to get a feel for the track. And that to me is what I love about this is, yes, we want to see the race. We love to see our city front and center, but it's all that goes into it that I find to be so fascinating too and exciting, quite frankly.
Yeah, it's really, we call it a street festival, right? It really is. And it just happens to be a of it. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things for people to do, and there's so many ways to experience this event for free. Over half the venue is open and accessible to fans for free all weekend long. We have viewing platforms all up and down Jefferson Avenue, Hart Plaza, Spirit Plaza, the River Walk, all are open for free for fans to come and check it out. And there's activations and related to the race that will be part of it. But
oh, did we lose Merrill? Hold on, Merrill. Let me put you. Yeah, let me put you on hold real quick. We were just getting a blip on your phone. Let me put you on hold. We'll reconnect here in just a minute. But yeah, the race, of course, Sunday, but Friday you've got different gates open at 8 a.m. You get to see the practice sessions, a number of different autograph sessions for these drivers as well. And we got Merrill Kane back. Pick up what you were saying there about all of the different possibilities for fans to take in this event.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Chris. So it's a great weekend in terms of, we have Indy next, who are the rising stars of IndyCar that are going to be racing over the course of the weekend, all 3 days, along with the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Some of the top sports car racers in the world that will compete, what we call Sports Car Saturday on Saturday this weekend. And then obviously we have IndyCar, the NTT IndyCar Series, which will take kind of center stage on Sunday. So yeah, all these racing series will be in action throughout the course of the weekend, pretty much from when the gates open at 8 a.m. until late afternoon on each day. But we want people to come down and check it out and not only watch the great racing, but we have our fan zone that's in Campus Martius Park, Cadillac Square, for people to take advantage of. That's free and open to everyone. We have activation in Hart Plaza, and of course, if you're down here and you have a ticket for the race, you can come in the race paddock. You'll be able to meet the drivers, see the drivers. Yeah, autograph sessions on Friday and Saturday from IndyCar and IMSA and Indy next. So yeah, there's a lot for people to see and do, and we're excited to bring it all to Detroit this weekend.
Well, and I think that's the other important part too, is in some of our professional sports leagues, sometimes these athletes can be out of reach, right? But that's not something that you guys have here. It's very interactive, and you give fans a lot of opportunities for them to come down, meet the drivers, get their perspective on what it's like driving through the city. I mean, every driver that I've talked to absolutely loves this track. So having that fan interaction, I think, is a really cool feather in the cap too.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, I think, for both IndyCar and IMSA. Very, very open, welcoming. You mentioned, where else could you couldn't go to a Tigers game and get in for free and get a chance to get an autograph from one of the players. And that's something we're very proud of, is the openness, the accessibility, the inclusiveness, really, of being able to be a part of this weekend and being a part of this event. So yeah, fans can get free autographs. Like you said, if you have a ticket, you can go through the paddock and see the different garage areas, come up to the different race teams who are very welcoming and are happy to talk about what they do and the passion that they have for the sports and everything automotive. And it seems to be a great fit here in the Motor City, obviously. And we love doing it and giving back to the community too, because this is one of those events that, when we brought the event back downtown in 2023, we met with so many different people from across the city and groups and organizations, and they all wanted it back, but they wanted to be able to be a part of it. And that's why we've kind of designed it like this, with the openness, the free access, and being able to engage with all the fans is something that we're very proud of.
Yeah, certainly. It is the 2026 Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic weekend. We cannot wait for it. Merrill Kane, thank you so much for your time as always, and we'll see you down there in the pits. It's going to be fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Tickets are still available, DetroitGP.com, so we hope to see everybody down this weekend.
You got it. Thank you, Merrill. We'll talk. Very cool. Meanwhile, the Tigers actually got a win. How about that, Jason? Over the O's.
They tried to blow it in the ninth.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They have been on an absolute tear in the wrong direction.
They're like one game off from the worst record in the American League.
Yeah, they're 21-33.
Now you heard though, Tarek Skubal is going to have a rehab assignment in early June here. He's going to come back a lot sooner than we thought.
So I was reading that, and Justin Verlander is progressing in a
Yes.
positive direction too. I have a hard time believing the Skubal news.
Well, me and a buddy and I were talking about it. It's like they're not going to rush him back.
No.
If they, it means he could really hurt himself.
Correct.
There's a lot on the line
absolutely
for his career and for this team.
8 o'clock hour coming up. It's JR Morning.
The catcher. Squatting behind home, keeping those wild pitches from getting by. A good roof does the same. It protects a home from wild Michigan weather. An inferior catcher may cost you the game, but a bad roof may cost you your homeowner's insurance. If you or a loved one receives a letter from your insurance company regarding the age of your roof and your policy, don't wait. Act immediately. American Standard Roofing offers senior discounts or 0% interest for those who qualify. Protect your home team and visit AmericanStandardRoofing.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
If you're struggling to hear conversations, TV, or the people you love, now there's an easier, more affordable solution without spending thousands. Audion Hearing makes high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Free shipping and dedicated one-on-one support in the comfort of your own home. No doctor's offices, no pressure. Clearer hearing delivered right to your door. Join over 1 million happy customers hearing life more clearly. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
The polls are just opening now in most of Texas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, where Republican Senator John Cornyn's job is on the line in a runoff against Trump-backed GOP challenger Ken Paxton, Texas Attorney General, who tells Fox,
what has John accomplished that's good for the state of Texas or the country? And you know what? No one's ever had an answer.
The president endorsed Paxton last week, but Cornyn tells Fox Digital,
were he to be the nominee and be exposed to general election voters, especially independents, I think it's going to be a very rocky time.
The winner will face Democratic State Rep James Tallarico in the general election. Democrats have not won a statewide race in Texas since 1994, although this race is among the handful that could determine if Republicans are able to hold on to their majority.
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. The American military has gone on the attack again in Iran.
U.S. Central Command says these were self-defense strikes in southern Iran, targeting missile launch sites and boats placing mines in the Strait of Hormuz. 4 people are reported killed on the boats. A senior U.S. official tells Fox the strikes are over for now, and the declared ceasefire with Iran is still in effect.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. The talks continue trying to work out an end to the conflict and get shipping moving again through the Strait of Hormuz. Fox's Jeff Paul reports from Dubai.
Gulf Arab states remain hopeful that a deal can get done. We know that a delegation from Iran has recently traveled to Qatar to continue on with those diplomatic relations. But within Iran itself, officials there say that these talks with the U.S. are proving a little difficult.
An Iran supreme leader warned today that U.S. military bases in the region are no longer safe. Thousands of people are back home in Garden Grove, California, south of L.A., with the threat of a massive toxic chemical disaster ruled out, but thousands more still evacuated because an overheated storage tank in question remains a concern. Acting Orange County and interim Orange County Fire Chief T.J. McGovern says,
we still do have some additional threats, an explosion, a leak, but we're actively working on those.
America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Interruptions will always come up at work, but with built-in intelligence and optimized battery, the Dell Pro powered by Intel Core Ultra with vPro is built for those who stay in the flow. Built for you. Dell.com/Dell-Pro.
Few crashes on the roadways right now. Westbound 96 after Latson, an accident's blocking the left lane. A crash off to the right shoulder of eastbound 94 at Michigan Avenue. Northbound 275 after Ford Road, accident off to both shoulders. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy today, a high of 84. Right now it's 57. Some clouds overnight and a low of 62. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 83. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
In Michigan, things are built the right way. The Barn Data Center in Saline Township is designed with Michigan in mind, creating jobs, carefully planning for energy and water use, protecting natural resources, and investing millions into local schools and public safety. When Michigan grows, we have to preserve our community and invest in the future, because how we grow matters. Find out more at theselenebarn.com.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Inside Retirement with Brett Brzezinski of the Brzezinski Group, Tuesday nights at 7 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Inside Retirement with Brett Brzezinski, Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
If you're struggling to hear conversations, TV, or the people you love, now there's an easier, more affordable solution without spending thousands. Audion Hearing makes high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Free shipping and dedicated one-on-one support in the comfort of your own home. No doctor's offices, no pressure. Clearer hearing delivered right to your door. Join over 1 million happy customers hearing life more clearly. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Your tickets to Tim McGraw August 28th at Pine Knob could be just an app download away. A VIP upgrade to premium tickets and a ride to the show by MetroCars. Plus, crunch your munchies after the show with a $100 Buddy's Pizza Run. Download the WJR app, open and find the secret keyword. That's all there is to it. Then text that keyword to 800-859-0957 and win. WJR's Tim McGraw VIP experience. Get details now at WJR.com.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Remley, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
8 o'clock hour, good to have you. Still a lot to do this morning. The latest out of Iran is the United States military carried out self-defense strikes in northern Iran Monday. And these missile launch sites, Iranian boats, that's according to CENTCOM Monday, their time. U.S. forces conducted self-defense strikes in southern Iran to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces, according to CENTCOM. Targets included missile launch sites, Iranian boats attempting to emplace mines. U.S. Central Command continues to defend our forces while using restraint during the ongoing ceasefire. According to Fox, a number of officials said that this does not mean the ceasefire with Iran is over.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. You know, how it's already fragile. How much more fragile is it now because you had this strike, this defensive strike?
Well, and this is while in Qatar, negotiations are ongoing. Donald Trump says that the talks are proceeding nicely.
Yeah.
Despite these defensive strikes by the United States, Donald Trump saying that Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium would either be handed over to the United States for destruction or eliminated under international supervision as part of a potential nuclear agreement with Tehran.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the nuclear dust, as he calls it, this enriched uranium, which is near weapons grade, is of course at the heart of all of this. And you know, you can make the argument over some of the sanctions being rolled back by the United States. But if the president maintains this stance of we do not want Iran to possess a nuclear weapon,
which is his
that's the whole
number
stance,
one deal. Yeah.
Then you deal with the other stuff and you try to sweeten the pot on the other side. And maybe the hope is that you have some sort of cordial relationship with Iran and the officials there and the regime there. Whether or not that actually comes to fruition is not. It's a fair criticism.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump wants to do away with the enriched uranium.
Well, and Israel's saying they're going after Hezbollah in Lebanon, and that's not going to stop. And I'm wondering if that causes issues with the negotiations as well.
Sure. Meanwhile, the suspect who fired shots outside the White House on Saturday hit a bystander. Secret Service shot and killed Nasir Best. He's being identified as the shooter. There was a number of incidents that he's had with Secret Service, run-ins that he's had with Secret Service. But he was identified by the Metropolitan Police in D.C., previously obstructed a White House entry lane in June of 2025 and told Secret Service agents he was Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
He underwent a mental evaluation at that time, but it was a scary situation outside the White House. And particularly from the vantage point of the White House reporters that get, if you've ever been to the White House and you look off to the right side, you see those green tents.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's where the TV stalls are.
That's right.
And so the reporters will stand up and do their live shots from that spot. They get the White House in the background. It's a beautiful picture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the videos of them swirling around social media at the time of those shots fired, very scary. They didn't know what was going on. It was a very scary situation, but thankfully Secret Service was there.
Michigan homeowners facing more frequent tornadoes and severe thunderstorms and damaging winds, well, they may get some help protecting their homes. A federal safe room rebate program now accepting applications offering eligible residents reimbursement for 75% of the cost to build a FEMA-compliant storm shelter, up to about $7,100 after construction is completed. Now, about 50 homeowners will be selected through a randomized process based on county risk levels, and participants must attend a required safety briefing to qualify. Officials say Michigan has already seen multiple tornado outbreaks and flooding this year, with severe weather becoming a growing year-round concern. And the program is designed to make storm protection more accessible as extreme weather continues to intensify across the state. We've seen a lot of it so far in just 5 months of this year.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, these teen takeovers have hit Pontiac too.
Oh man, yeah. Downtown Pontiac being promoted for these teen takeovers is prompting some concern from local leaders and Metro Detroit's attorney, who warned that the gatherings could carry serious safety and legal risk. In Detroit, similar huge unpermitted teen gatherings have led to street closures, as we know, theft, and also a shooting of a 14-year-old who's doing well. He's going to be okay. But Pontiac Mayor Mike McGinnis says police moved quickly after seeing social media posts advertising a planned event in Pontiac, deploying deputies in major downtown intersections as a precaution. No arrests were made. The officers basically focused on engaging with the teens who did show up. Attorney Renette Johnson warns that if, these teens who attend out of curiosity, well, they could still face loitering charges and court appearances and long-time consequences that follow them into adulthood. City leaders say they're also exploring safer, structured activities for young people, while the attorney is hosting a parent and teen seminar this week focused on the risk of participating in these events. Seems like they're trying to do a little something similar to what Detroit is doing by having these structured activities for young people. But there still has to be a law enforcement police element as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like it is at the level in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago is...
5 officers were hit by a driver during a teen takeover event on Sunday on the west side. 19 people were shot and wounded on Memorial Day in Chicago. The teen gathering happened at around 3:20 a.m. Officers shut down the street. They tried to dispense people, but an 18-year-old driver hit 5 cops, hit a curb, hit a police car, a pole, and a fence.
Okay. As a teenager, I mean, you're 18, you're considered an adult, but teenagers out at 3:00 in the morning, come on.
All the police are in fine condition, it sounds like.
Good.
But again, this is where the policing element has to come in.
It has to come in, yeah.
You just cannot allow this to spiral.
Yeah.
And that's the worries, I think, of officials here.
It
is
is.
You don't want it to spiral. And we haven't gotten anywhere near that.
No.
But,
absolutely. But we can see that it could escalate, as we saw that 14-year-old, be shot. Luckily, he's still alive and he's okay. The mayor put out a Instagram post over the weekend, basically saying, listen, we have these things for you to do, and we have all these nice things, but we are not going to tolerate you coming downtown and causing a problem.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Stephen Colbert was back in his old stomping grounds on Monroe Public Access Television.
I'm sure people were like, what?
On Friday.
Hello. Also welcome. It's time for another edition of Only in Monroe. I'm your guest, host, Stephen Colbert. Longtime viewers of Only in Monroe may remember that back in July of 2015, I filled in for the usual hosts, Michelle Bauman and Kaylani Ray Rafko Wilson. Still not sure how many people that is. Since I was last here in Monroe, Michigan, I spent 11 years as the primary host of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on CBS, which came to an end last night. It's been an excruciating 23 hours without being on TV, so I am grateful to be able to be here on Monroe Community Media before they also get acquired by Paramount.
A number of Michigan elite. Jeff Daniels was there. Jack White was there. Eminem was there. Marshall, the fire marshal, was there.
Yeah.
So there were Steve Buscemi was there as well.
Yeah.
So a number of cameos because he did host this local access show in 2015 in between his stints before he started on the Late Show. And I thought it was very funny. I thought the Only in Monroe was very funny. It was funnier than most of the stuff he did on the Late Show.
On the regular show.
But I thought it was very funny. But then we started seeing more people share it around social media. And one of the things that was rolling around was that CBS had put copyright blocks on people that were sharing this. They had posted this on YouTube channels, the CBS, things like that. They had posted this on their social medias.
Yeah.
But it was other people that were sharing it as well. And so they were sending out these copyright notices. But then they came out and said, as our regular practice, we send copyright notices to unauthorized websites that post copyrighted content from CBS and our network studio talents such as Stephen Colbert. But they are backing away from that at the moment. They're reviewing their process and things like that. But CBS did produce this
And so
little piece.
So he's still kind
Only in
of
Monroe.
under contract with them.
I guess I don't know what his contract situation or when he filmed it. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
But it did air Friday after his last show.
Well, good timing.
On CBS. Coming up on the other side, Andy Arena joins us, the former head of the FBI here in Detroit, to talk about that shooting at the White House. It's next on JR Morning.
Hi, it's Dave Lorenz. The key to a great getaway is to know a bit about the place and to leave plenty of opportunity for discovery. We'll show you the way on the Michigan Travel Show, Sundays at 4 on 760 WJR.
Big insurance, big pharma, big utilities. As Attorney General, Mike Cox beat them all, saving Michigan seniors and taxpayers billions. As governor, Mike Cox will take the fight to radical big government liberals by eliminating the income tax, dozing state government, rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, and getting prices down. He beat them before, he'll do it again. Marine, homicide prosecutor, Attorney General, Mike Cox for governor. Paid for by Mike Cox 2026.
Parklife Foundation helps autistic and neurodiverse people in Michigan gain and apply skills to succeed through education, work, and community. After all, everyone deserves to live their best life. Visit parclifefoundation.org. The Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear is back. And Mark Royce is president at General Motors. And Mark, how do you guys pack in so many fans every year?
We have more free viewing space for fans than any other IndyCar race, about half the track. Along Jefferson Avenue, fans can enjoy 2 free viewing zones for the entire family. And Chevy has a direct connection with these fans thanks to the hometown engineering. Our engines are designed and built in Pontiac, then raced on the streets of Detroit.
The Grand Prix doesn't just bring fans to the city, does it?
This great weekend of racing is more than just a thrill for the fans. It also gives back to our community. Since 2014, the event has raised over $10 million for local charities, including $1.9 million in 2025. So we hope to see everyone downtown for the whole weekend.
The Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear, downtown Detroit, May 29th through the 31st. Visit DetroitGP.com. Join Kelly Cobb and Jarrett Skurup along with special guests as they tackle the issues Michigan residents are thinking about on the Mackinac on Michigan show this Thursday night at 7. They take a deep dive on the issues that affect every resident and business owner in the state. What will you need to know? Find out on the Mackinac on Michigan show this Thursday at 7 p.m. The Mackinac on Michigan show is presented by the Frank Beckman Center for Journalism and the Mackinac Center for Public Policy.
Probate is bad. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's completely public. But the good news is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. A revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. At Estate Planning Legal Services, their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. Get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation and learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. 248-435-0400 or go to eplspc.com, 248-435-0400.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Pro-Life Across America.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with an unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossamerica.org.
Westbound 96 after Latson Road. We still have that crash taking up the left lane this morning. Accident on the right shoulder of eastbound 94 at Michigan Avenue. Northbound 275 at Ford Road. A crash off to both shoulders. Westbound M59 between Mound and DeQuinder. An accident there is causing backups to M53. And stop and go traffic on the Lodge southbound between 75 and Larned. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Mary Grove Awnings. You built the deck. You bought the grill. Now stop letting the sun push you around. Mary Grove Awnings, motorized, built tough. Click the remote, instant shade. And they can install in as little as 48 hours. Go to marygrove.com and book your free in-home appointment. Mary Grove, own your backyard. Here's your forecast.
Some fog may slow your roll this morning. Some of it's thick in spots, but a dry morning for the most part. Then partial sunshine later, up to about 85. That's a few above average. Make it 12 above normal. Tonight, mainly cloudy, 60, 50s for the suburbs. Partial sun and a few afternoon showers tomorrow. Still mild, 85. And then that front goes through. It's cold front. So we cool it off a little bit Thursday, but beautiful, more seasonable day. Blue sky, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming in June, the biggest birthday party in history.
America 250. Michigan made. From 760 WJR.
It's WJR's Tim McGraw VIP experience. It's your chance to rock when country music legend Tim McGraw brings his Poncho Guitar Tour to Pine Knob Music Theater August 28th, and you could win a pair of premium pavilion tickets, transportation courtesy of Metro Cars, and $100 to Buddy's Pizza. To enter, download the free WJR mobile app, find the secret keyword, and then text it to 800-859-0957. That's 800-859-0WJR. And for more information, you can visit WJR.com. It's all there for you.
It's going to be a great show.
It's going to be a great show. Meanwhile, the investigation continues into that shooting at the White House. Gunman opened fire and Secret Service eliminated Nasir Best. He did strike a bystander in the area, but Secret Service did eliminate him. He's had a number of run-ins with Secret Service in the past. Andy Arena is the executive director of the Detroit Crime Commission, also former head of the FBI here in Detroit. Andy, good morning to you. Let's talk about this. When this initially broke, obviously there was a lot of confusion, a lot of panic at the scene, but Secret Service stepped in. Was there any protocol that you felt like was missed at that point, or were things done by the book? Andy? All right, hold on. We'll work on reconnecting with Andy. But Best is accused of firing these shots outside of the White House on Saturday, and there were a number of reports that were going on the TV stations, and reporters were ducking and covering.
Oh, man, it was a scary situation.
Yeah, inside the gates at the White House. There are court documents that show in June 15, Best had an incident in Dunklin, Maryland, with Secret Service. He told agents he wanted to be arrested. He had a mental evaluation a month later in July. When he tried to enter the White House again, he was arrested by Secret Service then for that second incident, charged with unlawful entering a federally controlled property, according to court documents. But he was released after being arraigned on those unlawful entry charges in August of 2025. And then that led eventually to what we saw at the White House. So this is somebody who had a number of run-ins with Secret Service in the past.
And has anybody said anything about family members or his family or anybody, talking about the fact that he has an issue, and have they tried to help him?
Yeah. We do have Andy Arena back. Andy, good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Were things done properly here as far as you can tell?
Guys, I think this is going to be a mental health issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty obvious what's going on here. And, my time in the FBI, you get these people that just get an obsession with something, right? This guy, the obsession with the White House or the Secret Service or whatever, and they just, that's it. That's their focus, right? And so this is not the first run-in that Secret Service had with this guy. And I think things were done right. He was on their radar. There's only so much you can do to track these guys, right? But yeah, I think when he approached, he quickly pulled the weapon and they were able to neutralize it. But yeah, I think this is a little bit different than kind of what we've been seeing. This is just going to be, I think, a pure mental health issue.
How difficult is it, Andy, for security agencies to kind of distinguish between someone who's kind of simply acting out erratically versus someone who poses a real threat, an immediate threat?
Well, Lloyd, that is that's a $64 million question, right? That's something that's very difficult for these agencies to do. Individuals like this, they're just, it's a continuing drumbeat, right? They just keep popping up. They don't go away. And that's what it sounds like it was with this guy. It was just whatever this obsession was driving him to focus on the White House, and or the Secret Service. And so, I think this one was probably a little bit easier than most of them to kind of distinguish what the issue was here. But this guy just, whatever was going on, I mean, they just couldn't seem to get him the right help. And I think it's going to come out in the next couple of days with the family. Did he have family?
Mm-hmm.
Who was involved and really what went wrong with him on that side.
What are the protocols that go into effect when something like this happens?
Well, I think that you saw it at that checkpoint, right? I mean, from that exact moment, this guy came up, they reacted quickly, right? He pulled a weapon and they were able to react quickly. When you have somebody who's obsessed like this, they do the best they can to keep an eye on them, right? To keep tracking them. They may be looking at his social media activity if he had any, but these people tend to move around, right? They tend to kind of go on and off the radar. So I think you guys are probably, well, most Americans would be shocked at how many people there are like this out there. That it's just they get these obsessions, and it's almost impossible to track them 24 hours and all the time. So as I said, they kind of pop on and off the radar from time to time.
Hey, they got to ask you about these teen takeovers. We have them down in Detroit. They haven't been so bad, but it kind of escalated about a week or so ago when a 14-year-old was shot. Chicago had a lot of issues over the weekend. 5 officers hit by a 18-year-old driving a car. A lot of people shot. And these teen takeovers are kind of spreading around the different cities across the country. What do you see as the issue, and how do we deal with these teen takeovers?
Yeah, well, these are really, they are kind of taking a life of their own, really. And I think that when they get on social media, when the media starts picking up, right, they really, really start to gain traction, and people start to mimic them. So I think we're starting to see more and more of these around the country. Look. Part of it is kids looking for something to do, right? When I was a kid, they used to hang out at the mall, right?
Yeah,
there's
right.
no malls left, so there's no malls left, right? So they're looking for a place to, and this is something to do. This is something to be seen, and you're there with your friends, you're there with people you like, whatever, right? And so I think we're really what contributes to this is the social media aspect, right? People are following this, people are going to see it, be a part of it. So that is part of it. It's a double-edged sword. I mean, I understand it's providing these kids with something to do, getting them off the street. but you also have to, you've got to react accordingly as law enforcement. So it's really a double-edged sword. But I think the social media aspect is really playing a big part in this.
Yep, certainly. Andy Arena, always appreciate your insight. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal, and it's escalating in certain places. Not to the point here, but the police and the mayor trying to get on top of it, providing places for kids to go and things for them to do to keep it from escalating to a point like Chicago over the weekend.
The State House has passed its plan to cut property taxes. What's next? It's JR Morning.
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired. And sometimes we get sick. But with Corewell Health, we are also strong. We fight disease. We battle cancer. We come together. We come back. We push forward. When the body breaks, we break through. Corewell Health. We can.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1926 $10 gold Indian coins have been found. These gorgeous 1926 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1926 $10 gold Indian coin from the exclusive Anniversary Gold Collection, struck 150 years after America declared its independence. These 1926 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. Call 1-888-201-7071 to secure your exclusive 1926 Special Anniversary Gold Collection $10 Indian coin. Plus, you'll receive a free bonus over a $125 value and free shipping with every order. Call 1-888-201-7071 now to secure your 1926 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Call 1-888-201-7071. Don't wait. Call now.
It's time for Little Guy Detroit's third annual Family Safety Day. It's an incredible lineup of children's activities, touch-a-truck, safety demonstrations, character visits, and free ice cream. Plus, get a free bike helmet while supplies last. Learn vital safety tips and bring a box of cereal to support the annual cereal drive. It's all happening the morning of Saturday, June 13th, 9 till 11 a.m. at Children's Hospital of Michigan's Troy campus on Big Beaver Road. Register today at littleguydetroit.com.
Fox News, I'm CJ Pop. The ceasefire stands even though the U.S. military strikes Iranian targets.
Overnight, the United States conducted airstrikes against southern Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM says these strikes were defensive in nature and went after mine-laying vessels along with a surface-to-air missile position. These were the first U.S. strikes that have targeted Iran since early May.
Fox's Trey Inks in Tel Aviv, Iran's supreme leader warning U.S. bases in the region are no longer safe. A Texas runoff election pits four-term U.S. Senator John Cornyn against State Attorney General Ken Paxton. The winner faces Democratic candidate James Tallarico in November. President Trump recently endorsed AG Paxton. And in tragedy in Belgium, at least 2 teenagers and 4 were killed when a school bus collides with a train. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. Winnings are in bloom this May at MGM Grand Detroit. Spring into the Friday drawings and your chance at $15,000 in cash. Stop and smell the flowering fortunes exclusively at MGM Grand Detroit. It's a good time for a grand time. 21 and up.
Westbound 96 after Latson Road. Still have that accident blocking the left lane. Northbound 275 after Ford Road. Crash off to both shoulders. Accidents cleared on westbound M59 between Mound and DeQuinder. However, traffic still slow from M53. Also stop and go traffic on the Lodge southbound between Howard and Larned. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Colony Marine. Worried you can't afford the boat of your dreams? Don't worry, Colony Marine will float you. Their finance experts will get you approved and even sell your old boat. Sea Ray, Crest Pontoons, Maritimo, plus service you can trust at Colony Marine in St. Clair Shores or Oakland County. Partly cloudy today with a high of 84. Right now it's 59. Some clouds overnight and a low of 62. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, high of 83. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Did you know only 40% of people get to choose when they retire? To reduce fear and to understand if you have what you need to give you what you want in retirement, the charity has learned after teaching tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million, you have to educate yourself and prepare now. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour heard here Saturdays 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're retiring within 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at major universities and colleges in your area. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from which accounts at what age to minimize taxes and reduce the chances of outliving your money. Join us for our 8-hour, almost master's level retirement course to learn how to retire earlier, spend more, and reduce your anxiety. To find a course in your area, go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. These courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Like many of you, I got LASIK surgery back in the 80s, and recently I started having trouble seeing, and it turns out they never told us LASIK doesn't last forever. So now what? Glasses? I haven't worn glasses in years, and I'm as vain as the next person. But then I remembered Mariana and the staff at Direct Optical Optique and how great they were at finding cool frames that look good on me, because they are frame stylists. You can't get that on the web or a big box store, and nobody has a bigger selection of designer frames than Direct Optical Optique. And Mariana still knows everybody by name. She's still selling cool glasses, one pair at a time with a very personal touch. So if you wear glasses now or are wearing them again, you got to go to Direct Optical Optique and let them treat you like a star. They're the only ones who can do that. 2 great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple and West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to IKEA, OptiqueDetroit.com on the web.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
It's Jamie Edmonds. There's nothing like a day at the ballpark with the Detroit Tigers. The roar of the crowd, the smell of fresh cut grass, and now the taste of something truly special. Introducing Detroit's Grand Slam ice cream from Guernsey Farms Dairy, proud partner of the Tigers. Made with rich, creamy goodness and packed with hometown flavor, it's the perfect way to celebrate every inning, every hit, every home run. Heading to the game? Make sure to grab a scoop of Guernsey right at the park during every Tigers game, because baseball isn't just America's favorite pastime, it's even better with America's favorite treat. Cool off, treat yourself, and make every Tigers moment a little sweeter with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Guernsey Farms Dairy and the Detroit Tigers teaming up to knock it out of the park.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Well, the Republican-led Michigan House approved a plan to cut more than $5 billion in property taxes. It eliminates or reduces multiple taxes like the 6 mil state education tax, the pop-up tax, which deals with the assessment value after you sell a home, real estate transfer tax, personal property taxes on business equipment. It does lower the taxes or take it away in some instances, but there isn't a plan in place, as far as I know, to replace that lost revenue. So what happens next? Well, of course, it's going to go to the democratically controlled Senate, and there could be some roadblocks there. But Matt Hall, the Speaker of the House of Representatives here in the good state of Michigan, joins us to talk about it all. Mr. Speaker, it's good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
You know, we've been talking about this for quite some time. You guys voted on it. But the question is remaining out there. Well, what happens next? Is there a funding hole if this does get to the governor's desk and the governor signs it? What happens now?
No, there's not a funding hole, and I'm disappointed that you guys are buying into the Democrat talking points here. I've been very out there and transparent about the replacement. And if you look at the bill that we've tie-barred all these bills to, meaning the significant property tax reform cannot take effect unless we hold the schools harmless and we hold the local, and we take care of the local governments, and we do that with the luxury tax. And I've been on your show talking about the luxury tax. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend the 6% sales tax to certain luxury services, including lobbying, telemarketers, junk mail, political ads, collection agencies, sports agents, and things like that. And what we're going to do is, because it's very complicated, I'm working with the Treasury Department just to make sure that it is perfect. Because if it was $10 less than revenue neutral, the Democrats would attack me. And so we're going to make sure that we balance it. And I'll tell people, you're not going to get a deal unless it's a balanced deal in divided government. But the point here is we need significant property tax relief for the people of Michigan. And the House Republicans are charging ahead to do it. And you have all these naysayers and haters in the Democrat Party that are just trying to obstruct real relief and get to an election without solving the big problems facing the people of Michigan.
You know, there's also a significant shift involving the pop-up tax and how property values are assessed after the sale. What problem is that change intended to solve for homeowners?
Well, it's a big problem. You know, you buy a house, and many people can't move out of their houses because if they sell their house, they have to move into a much smaller house in order to afford the property taxes. And you know, that's why we want to get rid of the pop-up tax, which is the tax that occurs when you sell your home, and then the taxable value becomes uncapped, and your taxes could double or triple. It makes it harder to sell a home. It makes it harder to buy a home, and it's one of the reasons that the property tax or the property taxes are so high in Michigan. So we want to eliminate that so that the taxable value of your home now remains the taxable value when you buy and sell your home.
How much money would this save folks?
This is going to save folks. Well, the regular one, that we're eliminating the state property tax. That's going to save the average homeowner $900 a year. And then we're going to force the utilities to lower their rates by $1 billion, and that's going to save the average person another $250 a year. So you're looking at about $1,200 a year that you're going to save. And then with the pop-up tax, that's going to be big savings as time goes on. So we can backfill this very easily. We just have to have the will to do tough things. And what I'm doing is I'm challenging Gretchen Whitmer and the Democrats. I know this is your last year, but we still got to solve these big issues of property tax and energy bills. And so I'm hanging in there to do it. I'm proud of the House Republicans that moved this thing. And I look at it just like last year. The Democrats made these same arguments about roads. How are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? Rather than put solutions on the table. And in the end, I made a great deal with Gretchen Whitmer to put $2 billion into roads.
Yeah.
Biggest roads deal in Michigan's history. And we'll do it again on this budget. And every one of those Democrats crying about it are going to vote for it. You watch.
Beyond the tax policy itself, Mr. Speaker, the debate also touches on a larger philosophical type of question, like who should shoulder the burden of funding schools and local government, homeowners, businesses, or consumers of services?
Well, we just, in politics, you just got to cobble it together however you can get the votes. And, we dealt with the same issue on roads. So that's what we're going to do. And I think that I looked at this. There's over $18 billion of services. That's how much revenue you could get if you taxed all services. We're just proposing the luxury services. I went over those. Similar, the lobbyists, the telemarketers, the political consultants, they're going to pay this tax. And you're going to get huge property tax cut as a result of that.
There's been a number of states that have been thinking about or examining whether or not doing away with the property taxes in their state: Florida, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Texas, just to name a few. Have you talked to anybody in those states about what you're doing here as almost a roadmap?
I have talked to some of the other leaders in the other states. I will say that it gets very complex. And so, because not all states use their property taxes to pay for roads and education and local governments like we do.
Right.
But I've been talking to them, and this is a movement across the country. You're seeing a lot of states see you save a lot more money by cutting your property taxes than you do by cutting the income tax. And that's why we're trying to focus on property taxes to give people real, meaningful relief that they'll feel.
And, when you step back from the policy details, Mr. Speaker, what's the long-term vision for the state's tax system that you're trying to build through this package?
Well, it doesn't make sense to tax your property. I think it really makes more sense as tax policy to charge based on, goods and services that people use. I think it's a more fair tax system than, you pay off your home, but you're still paying property tax every year, and it goes up and up and up.
Well, it's an interesting plan, and we're going to continue to watch it, certainly. Speaker of the House, Matt Hall, we appreciate your time as always. We'll see you up on the island.
Thank you. See you there.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
But you're talking about, over $1,000 a year in savings for a lot of folks. That would be substantial.
Every little bit helps, especially now.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Coming up on the other side, the Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear is this weekend, and we're going to chat about it. It's next on JR Morning.
I need a little range, step to the range, come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick.